for this documentary that's done by a PK. Okay. You know, dude that behind the Argos.
Oh, okay.
I think Steuben PK, or is it the hockey player dude?
PK Subban.
Yeah, I just did something for him. A documentary. It's basically it touches on our plight in the city, being so-called black. It's a social construct. I don't answer to being black, but we'll get into that. But yeah, just the struggle, be it music, be it business, be it whatever. So I did something for them. That's the last, and that was like maybe last year.
Oh, can I just start? Are we recording and everything?
Yeah, we can do whatever.
Oh. This is so crazy.
Check. Okay.
I remember like watching these music videos, just much music days, you know what I'm saying? Just da 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 da. I'm gonna be real. Fuck, this might be the only timestamp. I'm gonna beep this pod. I didn't really give a fuck for the remix. I'm gonna be real with you, too, man.
It's all good.
Like, I understand why it happened. It was good for the bigger picture of things.
Now you're talking.
I get it.
Hold on, let me see my eyes so you know it's real.
It's not AI, guys. It's not AI.
Yeah,
But
I feel you.
yeah, like just I want to know, because just off the rip, you know, it was 50 years last year, right? 50 years of hip hop was last year.
50 years, yes.
How come we didn't see Ghetto Concept anywhere? How come
you did not see a correct representation of hip hop?
Period.
From everybody that was giving out awards, people that lived off of the strength of what we do. How come you didn't see any notoriety from that there? You didn't see that.
I didn't see it at all.
It was very quiet.
Why? Why is it like, especially for Canada, and this is why I feel like Canada doesn't have the culture per se when it comes to hip hop music and rap?
They don't. I mean, you know, it's crazy because me and Quadra were in America for a long time, give or take 15 years, back and forth, but still there. 10 years in New York, 3 years in California, a year in Atlanta, and just moving around. We were in San Diego for a little bit too. We were recording and writing out there. And it's just the difference, we always say this, the difference between Toronto and New York per se, is that Toronto, you go to the club, you might see 1, 2 heads. You might be like, okay, wow, Puffy about to drop a new tune. When you go to New York, you got Lil' Kim dancing on the bar right beside you. That's the difference. Everything is up close and personal. You can touch, you can see the culture, right? You can see the mirage through the mirage. You can see when a rapper out there is fucked up and when they're doing good. There's no hiding, right? It's different here. It's a lot of facade. It's a lot of what it could be, what it should be, but it ain't, because the people that are supposed to get behind it, they're not. They got their people that they love, people that they've chosen to go ahead and push their agendas.
Facts.
Us, we don't got a voice. They don't care about us. They let us lay the bricks. Then they said, fuck with y'all. We gonna do our shit now. That's what happened. And that's what's continuing to happen unless people are less lick-body here and speak up. That's what's going on. It's a lot of lick-body thing. And a lot of these guys are fucking trash. A lot of these niggas is trash.
Speak the things.
No, it's the truth.
Even niggas from your era.
Yes.
And our era too.
Yes.
Both of them.
It's a collective. But you know what's so beautiful about that is that we don't stand out if there's no fucking nerds.
Fact.
If there's no square pegs, how do we stand out? There's got to be somebody to play the role. I get it. But everybody got to play the fucking role of a square peg? So then where do we fit? So now you got a whole collective of square pegs that are running shit. We don't get a voice. So there has to be a balance, right? I'm not saying that you have to come out of the hood in order to have a voice. But remember where the shit started. It started with us. You know where hip-hop started? It started with them saying hip-hop, Grandmaster Flash Furious 5. That's where the title of hip-hop came out of. Hip-hop. Brother had just got out of the army. So it's left, right. And he just said hip-hop. So remember where it came from. It came from him coming back out of the army and seeing what the community was like. Broken glass everywhere. He's like, this shit is fucked up. I gotta give it a voice. Oh, yeah, all the party shit is cool, but it's not a time to party when my people can't fucking eat. What are we partying about? Why are you happy about a birthday when your people cannot fucking eat? Shit don't make sense. My birthday was just a couple of days ago. Do I fucking care? No. Who cares about that? People are out here starving, killing each other. You young people are killing each other. For what? When there's people that are already in a state of position that can help you, that can put us on, pardon the headphones, that can put you in a position to go ahead and take it a level further. Where are they at? How come there's so much major support in all this? How come they never speak to the streets? So you know that hip-hop is a street-orientated culture. It's people coming from the streets. We're the tastemakers. Fuck what they're talking about. We set the trends here. So you know that, but you see us killing each other. Why are you not lending an initiative to us? Why are there no? And it's always about basketball courts and all this other shit. But
That doesn't help.
That doesn't
do
fucking help.
anything.
Yeah, by the time you get back to the hood, the court's gone, B. All the mesh is gone, and there's the hoop. Now you got to put up fucking crates to play basketball. That shit don't last, but you need to give us some integral stuff that does last. Like, how about a career? How about sending somebody to law school?
Trades,
They got
let them learn
trades.
stuff.
Yeah, even if you're a carpenter. You know, I always believe in trades. You could be a lawyer, you could be a doctor, but a trade, you need people to fix sinks and do electrical stuff too.
Yep.
That's very important. Right? But they don't show you that. They just show you the glamour and the glitz. They don't, right?
They want you to be workers. They
Yeah,
want
they
you
want
to
you-
work for them. So
Well,
that's the brainwash, right?
You know what? That's very interesting because that came through Carnegie and the Rothschilds for America. So when they got into position, because there was a black lady that was over the education system at a time, I believe it was the 60s, before a Rockefeller's nephew, like the head Rockefeller, his nephew got into office. But before that, she was the one that set it for the school curriculum. Right? Then he came in and he changed the shit. And he said that we don't want people that can think for themselves. We need workers.
Facts.
Right? Roughly paraphrasing. That's what he wanted. He didn't want somebody to go ahead and start to think and do all this other shit that they can't control. We want somebody that's going to do as I say and not as I do. Right? Which is get ahead.
That's crazy, but real quick, you have like the green thing on the side of your face. Right there. Hold on. No, pause. All right.
Super but and you let me sit there with that shit on my face?
No, but
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't,
yeah, that's what
I
you
can't
have
stop
to.
the
You have
passion, bro. Like the passion was there. You knocked the
good.
headphones all sorts. Like the passion was there.
Yeah, no doubt,
We
no
can't
doubt.
pause the passion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but on a serious note, man, it's just the state of hip hop, man. Toronto needs a history lesson too, bro. That shit is horrible, dog.
Hold on, really quick. What's your take on just the music in general? Like, obviously, you're seeing like the smoking on dead ops, the calling out blocks. Like, nobody makes hooks anymore. Like, what's your just take on the whole scene? Not just Toronto scene, because Toronto scene's ass, but the whole scene itself is kind of bad too.
Well,
There's
you know
still
what?
good. There's some good. There's
You
some
know
good.
what? I'm like, there's a lot of kids coming out that I'm a fan of, like that I like
Ooh.
what they do.
Can you name some names?
Of course, Bundog, what he's doing right now is crazy. He reminds me of what Concept used to be. Like, man would go in the hood. They would see us do something, like shoot in front of the Benz. Then they would go run and shoot in front of the Benz. And we'd be like, fuck y'all, we're going to New York. We did shit that this nigga said, yo, you know what? Fuck y'all, I'm going to Paris. Mask on. yeah, I like shit like that. That's what I like. I'm not going to lie. I like Haji, Bosco. I like them. Shout out to them and LP. You know what I mean? That's foundation right there for me. Alpino, you already know. Press, of course, you know what I mean? Props to Press because we know his old man. So we know that whole story. So there's always going to be love and respect for him on that angle, right? Remember when me and Quadra were running around, it wasn't about neighborhoods and stuff. Like, we could go anywhere we wanted to go, right? We could, no matter where it was, we could go, right? Because we weren't those guys, per se. We had those guys, but it wasn't, our mission was just music. And, I mean, the inception of Ghetto Concept was, because Quadra's from Rexdale, I'm from Jungle. So our whole view was, let's get together and put the hoods together. Because we're the ones that don't got a voice. Fuck everybody else. It's all about the hoods from Toronto. We didn't care if you were from Orton Park, we were from Galloway. We didn't care about that. Just bring and you've seen that on our second album. We brought everybody in.
Yes.
Right? So that was our whole perspective. So I know right now it's tough. You can't tell a man, you know what, put on the beef when 3 or 4 of your brethren is dead already. You can't do that. Like, a man is not trying to hear that, and I get it. But in the same token, you got to look at us as the older statesmen and be like, and understand that we do have favorites and we do have people that we like and we like the progression. It just needs to be a little bit more fine-tuned and focused. Feel me?
Now, how would you fix that solution though? I know, like, say, like, as the OGs, you guys were cool because I seen that even through my block. The OGs are cool. The kids after the OGs, like the young OGs, they're not really that cool. But the younger G's, they have different problems than the ones above them. Like, how would you solve something like that to break the hierarchy or to?
You know what? It's crazy because I don't see it getting any better before it gets more worse. And that's just the truth.
I've been saying
Because
that.
I mean, we're talking about hip hop music, but hip hop is not the end all, be all of our lives. Like, there's real life out there. We got families, we got children, grandchildren for some of us. We got bills we need to pay. Like, life is real. So as far and I think, you know, any true hip hop artist you write about what you know and what you see. So if everybody's running crazy, what are you gonna write? I wrote a song about that 20 years ago. Baby, this world is going crazy. It's still going crazy. What do you think you're gonna see? Has there been a change? No, it's gotten worse, and it's gonna continue to get worse. Now, for those who don't know, I'm an Israelite, so I look on things a little bit different. I know that it ain't gonna get any better until you start dealing with the Most High. If you're not dealing with the Most High, and I know they always tell you don't speak about politics and religion. I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about our natural way of life. Once you stop dealing with the natural way of life and you think that you're greater than a being you're a fool. That's what the scriptures say, and I believe that too. There's always something out there greater than you. Look at King Von. He was a gangster killer, murder, homicide. And how did he go out?
The same way that he raps.
Somebody less than him. Did that guy have a street reputation globally like Killer Von?
Fuck no.
No. Okay, so then there's always something greater than you.
Facts.
Right? And once you start to acknowledge that, then things might get better, but it ain't gonna get better right now. No, because the people that are in play don't want it to get better. And everybody's running to them for support instead of running to the main man.
When did you become an Israelite, or have you always been? And are you a Tribe of Benjamin type of person? Like,
I always knew when I was a child. I used to ask my dad, like, why are we in this position? Aren't we Israelites? When I was a kid, right? I didn't know, but I didn't have the truth to back it up. You know what I mean? I didn't have the understanding of the scriptures to back that up. But I've been practicing in the faith for 10 years. Okay. 10 years. And I never thought that I would be able to teach the scriptures. And I made that transition recently, about 4 years now, 3-4 years now, on the front lines. Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
So you're actually teaching too?
Yeah, I teach. I do teach.
That's proper still.
Yes,
See, this is
sir.
what we need. People that are actually teaching the youth, not just out here, oh, you guys suck and you guys are doing this and that and the third, and then going in the backs. Let's do the songs and then get to the intro. Because we haven't won 2 songs. I don't know if you want to go first.
Nah, you can go first.
Oh, man. You want to get into it now?
Let's
gotta
get
into the interview,
let's
man.
get into the
Holy,
interview.
that was one hell of an intro. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Mr. Man Dem Show, it's your boy Gutsy.
It's your boy Vegas.
And today, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Do all that good stuff. Packed house. Shout out to everybody in the back. But we got a super, super special guest. One thing about us, we like to give people flowers while they're here. We're not going to wait till something happens or something big happens. You want to give it. No, we give the Man Dem the flowers while they're here. This guy is here. He's very impactful for my career coming up in Toronto. I want to say you guys are the first Toronto artists I listened to.
One of the first for sure.
One of the first. You guys are definitely up there. That I had on repeat too, it was them.
Okay.
At the time, I didn't know. I thought they were both from Rex. But, I had to find out one person from Lawrence Heights. Shout out Lawrence Heights.
Yeah,
Jungle.
Youngsville.
You know what I'm saying? 5, free up 5. Hold your head 5.
Free the boy, man. Free the man.
When I talk about somebody else in Jungle too. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But yeah, it's not about us. It's about one of the members of I'm gonna say, are they the greatest Toronto
Man,
rap
we the greatest, man. Come on, man. Stop playing.
They're the
man.
greatest rap duo because they're probably the only.
group? Right?
I don't think there's
There's
no
a couple
duo.
that came out, man.
But they didn't have the
they
same
never made the
impact.
as you guys.
They
You
didn't
guys are the
have
greatest rap duo in Canada. Yep, they are.
And I like how you were
Rascals.
hold on. I like how you were in green, Turtle.
Okay. That's up. You see, got the original hat here too.
Ooh, I'm scooping that before he
crazy.
leaves, man. You brought it
yeah,
for Gutsy.
yeah,
I like the
yeah.
color to it. Oh,
Yes, sir.
the
Yes, sir.
see it there. I see Luna looking like, you ain't taking that shit. I'm going to have it. That's mine.
Just gonna put in a.
Oh, yeah. Hey. Oh, you mean it? No. I'm just fucking with you. But yes, we got from Ghetto Concept, Mr. Dolo in the building. Round of applause.
Yes, sir.
Legend.
Thank you.
I don't know. You like the OG term? You like the OG us?
When it fits, man. But let's just call this a collective of people with the same mindset, and hopefully, I can inspire y'all to do things a little different, just like how y'all can inspire me to get on your wave.
Yeah, we about to run into Flow 98%. Take what's ours at this moment.
Shit, we should.
I'm telling you.
We already know 1-2 people up there. So, anyways, you have any shout outs? Anybody want to big up?
Of course, I started with my man Blacks. Rest in peace to my brother. There'll never be another. He was a jewel, man. He was the blue rose that grew out of the concrete. So I always start everything with him. Quadro Cinco, of course, my brother from another mother, always doing what he do, business, music, right? That's my man right there. So shout out to you, brother, doing it big. Shout out to the family. Shout out to, of course, my daughter Luna.
Jeez.
Shout out to this bad guy over here, Lenka. Of course, Glizzy, Kiki, my youngest, Kiki, Meech, she doing her thing. Terrell Morris, him as well. That's all family. My young buck at home. Yeah, man. Just, you know, familiar first. Oh, shit. Can't forget Chigarelli. But that was going to come later, to be very honest, because they needed to be included in this conversation, especially because I just feel like my cousin Chigarelli is the best writer in Canada, period, right now.
Jeez.
The best.
Who's he writing for?
Man, he's writing for himself. He's writing for himself right now. And I guarantee you, everybody here knows, he got maybe 100. He's Tupac right now with all the writing that he's doing, right? But they don't get the nod. And maybe it's on both ends. Maybe they need to push a little more. But I'm just saying, that lends to the whole narrative here of there is so much talent coming out of the city. Where is everybody out? Especially with these people that say they're living so big. Why are you not helping the people? You're in a position to do it. You don't know what you run into Atlanta, you run into South Carolina, you run into LA. You got it right here. Where you going? It's here already. Right?
They make a lot of excuses though.
Finally, somebody else saying it. It's
make-
not
they-
us.
Man,
They
come
make
on,
a lot
man.
of
I just speak the
excuses.
real, man. That's why they don't like me. And I don't care. You think I care? I don't, man. Man, come on, man. I'm the world's most hated, God's favorite. Talk to me. You know what I'm saying?
See, I don't have the lingo like that.
Yeah, bro.
But the energy is the same.
Yeah, man. That's all good, man. I'm
That
here to
energy-
speak for you too, brother.
Hey, man.
I see
I'm-
what y'all
I'm-
doing,
I'm-
man.
I'm
I
with
love
it.
it.
Thank you,
Before
thank you.
I just want to go back first. Like, who is Dolo? Like, where did Dolo come from? Born and raised. Like, tell me the starting.
The starting, inception. Well, when I was 2 years old, I am.
Yeah.
When I was 3, I started learning how to read it. This one too, when we were 3 years old, started learning how to read and write, and I could say my prayers and stuff. So I was pretty swift at a young age. Fast forward.
Hold on. Don't fast forward. Where were you born? Were you born
I was
here?
born here. I was born in
okay.
Toronto. I was
So
born
born
in
and raised in Toronto.
Not raised. I was
Oh.
here for a vast majority of my childhood, but I was in the States a lot.
Okay.
Definitely in the States a lot. But yeah, I got my love for music here from, and that was from family, uncles, mainly uncles, on both sides of my family. My uncle was a basketball player. He never went pro, but he was well known in the streets. And my uncle on the other side was very well known for what he does. Yeah, that's another story in itself. You need to have him up here. Forget about it. Yeah, but I got my love of music from them, and my other uncle too. I can't forget him. My uncle Ian. He used to actually rent his equipment Schick Dynasty. I know he used to do for them. The Webleys. I know he used to do them, and they were the men back in our day as far as throwing parties like Focus and all that.
Okay.
Sunshine, he used to do stuff for Sunshine too. So he would rent them his equipment. Okay. So I got my love through all that. Right?
Sorry, really quick, because you said something, and it was something I was thinking about on from last night. So I'm glad that you brought that up with the parties. This is for everybody here. Well, the older ones. If you could have brought back like one party, one club, just for like the summer, which one would it be? Because me, it would be Epiphany.
Epiphany, right? For me, it'd be Rivoli live at the barbecue.
See, I don't even know about them one day.
Man, that was just the all out. Think about just going to a jam for like 6, 7, maybe 8 hours of just pure hip hop.
Oh wow.
From the foundation, every form of hip hop, to gangsta, to pushing up the daisies, to just every part, right? Tribe to NWA, all across the board, Public Enemy, the whole nine. Imagine that. And the best DJs from Toronto just spinning all night and have an opportunity to get on the mic and rock the mic if you need to. Man, there's nothing like a live at the barbecue, the Rivoli. It was at the Rivoli. Now Rivoli would be too small to hold.
A function like that.
Yeah.
That's actually a fucking like.
I know.
Well, I hate the city so
Who was the hottest
much.
DJ at that moment at Rivoli, or who was the DJ that you
I mean, it was a
actually went
collective
to?
for me. It was a collective, I'll be very honest. But X was up there. Power was up there, DTS and them, all them that were doing community radio at that time.
Yeah,
89.5 and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely get an honorable mention. But yeah, I mean, it was across the board. There wasn't really one super standout because you had the reggae faction too, right?
Okay.
They were doing their thing. But you know, I'm a hip hop head.
Yeah.
And R&B head, so I mean, those are the days when there was Chin Radio, and we would turn it on at like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
88.1, right?
And stuff.
Was that
No,
88.1
it's
Chin?
Chin. I don't know whatever Chin is now, but I don't know if it ever changed. But
Fuck, that's
even know.
back in the back.
Yeah, that's
Back
and that's
in
what I
the
keep
back.
saying about, you know, we had the conversation off here that Toronto
Yeah.
needs a history lesson, man, and know where
Yeah.
you're coming from, man. We as so-called people of color, because I don't subscribe to social constructs, you know what I mean? Like black and white, I don't subscribe to that because it's not a color thing, right? It's a spirit thing. Like if I took an apple tree and I planted an apple tree in Scandinavia, and then I planted an apple tree, that same apple tree I planted in Jamaica, and then I planted it in Russia, do we have a Russian tree? Do we have a Scandinavian tree, a Jamaican tree, or do we have an apple tree? Right. So you are what your father is. So my case in point, the one that I like to often use, and this is what we teach, is that Blake Griffin, his father, Haitian, dark-skinned man, darker than me. Mother, white, so-called white, because again, it's a social construct, red hair. So you have Blake, you know what he looks like. Then you have his son. Have you seen his son? He's blonde, stringy hair. He could pass for a so-called white man. But you are what your father is. You understand? So that's why I don't subscribe to what you look like. I subscribe to your spirit. Feel me?
Yeah, I get it. That's dope. That's dope. So, fuck, I had a question. I forgot. Go ahead.
Yeah, I do that sometimes. I'm
Always
sorry.
like have something and it just.
So how was it growing up, I guess, in jungle at the time? Like the times that you were there? Because the jungle I know is totally different from back in the day from now.
I guess I'll say that the same energy is there.
Yes, the energy's there.
And you know that you can see it with Five. Like, okay, you see the way how Five deals with people and he talks to people? That ain't nothing but old school jungle.
Yes.
That is how we are. We are dickheads, bro. You cannot fuck with us. Don't argue with us. We'll make you look silly. And don't do it in front of people because we'll make you look extra
even
silly.
yep.
Right? Yeah, that's how we are, right?
But but I feel like back in the day, it was still you could go there a little bit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was able to pull up a jungle and not realize it was Lawrence Heights. Lawrence Heights is a problematic place. And you would still be able to have fun. I would be going to like barbecues and stuff. It still felt like back in the day it was somewhat of a place where like they would welcome you depending on your energy.
I mean, for me growing up, we had other neighborhoods that we had conflict with. Now, I mean, it's no secret, jungle had a big conflict with region. You know, we were cool with Jane and Finch at one time, and I don't know how it is, but there was a point when we weren't not cool with Jane and Finch. So it changed with the weather, I'll say that. And then you had, I mean, the other thing that came into play was that people from one area would move into your project.
Yes.
And back and forth. So now you got cousins from two different places in the same, right? So back then it was a little bit more easier to navigate and go to different people's hoods. I mean, me and Quadra, we went everywhere until it just was not to play. Right, especially for us as being artists, and we start to put the jewels on, and when in the cars, you don't really want to be around there. Sometimes, right? People get mad at not what you're doing, but what you can't do for them.
Yes.
Right. So
That's actually very, very true. Is there a block that you guys that tried to page you guys? Like you couldn't go there, or not per se? You could, yeah, like you're just like, these niggas is too shiny. You can't come on our block.
No, never. That's never happened because we know everybody from everywhere.
Yeah.
Like. I would see Guillotine in the street, and he'd be like, yo, fam, what up? And it'd be Love. He's Scarborough, you know, Scarberia, man. They doing what they do over there. And it was Love, right? And it's crazy, man, because there's certain people that have the focal point on them, and everybody around them loves us, except for you. Except for you. You look stupid, man. You stupid.
Stupid.
Yeah, you stupid, man. You super stupid.
Oh, man.
So music-wise, when did you start saying, all right, maybe I should hit the studio, make some songs?
Oh, that's easy, man. Well, at one time I was a bad kid, and so I was going back and forth to families and whatnot. And one time I ended up on the weekend, and which turned into about a couple of weeks until a month until it went on. I ended up in New Jersey. I ended up out in Patterson, New Jersey.
Jeez.
And so, if you thought I was going to get any better than that, I don't know.
Right? Why would they bring you there?
I think it was just to get me away because my friends were dying at that time, right? And so, you know, your parents get scared and they want you away from the environment.
Yeah.
And I get it, but I learned, I came up fast and I learned a lot. But that's when I really could say that I felt like hip hop was attainable because you would see brothers on the corner rapping and hustling at the same time. And so it was just a part of the lifestyle, right? And so I think that's when I said, you know what? When I came back, I had a new perspective, and my thing was when I was out there, it was everybody was hustling to get off of the corner, not hustling to stay on
it.
right? And so I went home with that. So when I got into hip hop, my whole thing was like, you know what? I don't want to do this no more. I'm starting to have babies. Like, I want them to have a future. And then I found out fast that if you don't got money, you can't facilitate your dream. So what are you gonna do? You can't go to Royal Bank and get a loan. What are you gonna tell them? I want to do hip hop? What are they gonna say to you?
You're gonna laugh.
Come on. They're still doing it today. They're still laughing at you.
Exactly.
Right? So it was just, the dream was there, but it was hard to obtain. So we had to do what we had to do to survive and get on and make it better for our family. And that was always our goal. It wasn't about us or being flashy. We just wear the shit because it comes with the right? Yeah, I mean, it's you go to work. Some guys, they work in a cubicle. They drink their coffee. They go to Starbucks. Like, it's a part of the whole percentage of you going to work. Us, we just did what was uniform. We put on the chains. We got the car. We did that. But it was never really about living that lifestyle. It was, ghetto mentality. It manifests mentally before it can manifest physically. So when you see a whole bunch of people doing dumb shit, you're going to be thinking to yourself, I need to do dumb shit to get on. Right? And so we wanted out of that. We did, man. Too much people dying. People we love. And so that was the whole movement behind what me and Quadro were doing, was trying to get out of the hood and create a space so that people like us who have the same mind could channel the way that they do things in a more positive manner and use their skills that are beneficial to them and to society on a whole, so that we weren't getting locked up, right? So that we had a voice, so that we could change things that needed to be changed.
So is that the meaning behind Ghetto Concept in the whole?
Yeah, that's how we came about, because as I said, Quadra's from Rexdale, I'm from Jungle. So already it's just like, two different areas, one side wears blue, one side wears red. I mean, I think we came in before that happened, but when it happened, it was whatever. It was just another day at the office. And how do we navigate to bring everybody together? And it was easy. It was easy for us. And I think we were the voice of the people at that time, which is why I said that even because when you do hip hop music, you have to understand that you have a social responsibility to the people that you grew up with and where you come from. So when you're out here doing music and you're saying that you're doing hip hop, if you see somebody that's a leader of their community, you got to get them involved.
Yeah.
Like, all the fame and all the egos and animosity should go out the window when you're trying to build a scene, because they spend money like you spend money, right? You don't win a presidential campaign by your vote. You win by the money that you spend with this person. That's how you really win. So if we're moving as a team, or even if we're just moving as a collective, you got to get people involved that you might not like the cut of their jib or the way they look. You still got to do that.
But you said a very important thing. It's hip hop. A lot of these guys are not doing hip hop. They're doing rap.
Shit, we talked about that. We talked about
that's the problem.
Now my man Patrick Nichols just got recognized by the AGO for his historic work in hip hop, and shout out to Patrick, man. He's monumental in our story. And my man Mo was there. Shout out to K Force, my man Mo. And we were talking about, and Mo's more vocal than me, right? Because he's from New York. He's been in New York for how long? So he remembers when we were out in New York when oh man, that's another story. But anyways, he was there and we were talking about a lot of these people that are here are just here for cool points. And that's a new slang for us. Oh, you're here for cool points. You ain't here for the culture, man. Because if you were, we wouldn't be like this.
So when did it click? Like, when did you and Quadro be like, oh shit, it's really happening?
No. Sorry.
You don't want to get there?
Let me get to where they even linked.
Okay, go
because
on.
I want to know who linked who. Fam, I'm breaking it up. We might be here all day. But I really, because this is a really important story. Like, I want to even see, like, did Quadro link you? Did you link him? Like,
did you guys
with
go to the same
other
school?
parties? I want to assume it was other parties that put you guys together.
Now, me and Quadro met from going to parties back in the day, but we got the real introduction from who I call my cousin Howie T. He goes by the name of Nasty Howie, out of Jungle. Shout out to my nigga Howie. You don't know. Okay. He introduced me and Quadro because at the time I was rapping with a brother from Rexdale named Flo. My name is Flo, known as the lyrical hype. Inside joke. But that's my man Flo.
Okay.
And it just didn't. I think we were at different places in our life. So we decided to chill on that. And at the time, I'd been writing for artists as well. I don't really want to say who I was writing for because
Not even one?
No, I don't want to take anything away from them. I will say a couple of the names that you might be familiar with, but there were some people that I was writing for at that time.
Okay, hold on. For like pop, this is a little clouty purposes. Can you say the name and we'll bleep it out? Or say the song?
No, I can't do that.
Okay, hold on. Okay. Was the song a hit record? Like have you written a hit record for somebody?
I'll tell you one artist that I worked with. I worked with Michie Me before.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay, that's dope.
Right?
Yeah.
And she's mad cool. She's truly a queen in this city. I think she doesn't get enough props, but I'll leave it for her to tell her story.
We've
when
been
you guys
Mish.
invite her up here.
Oh, we've
That's
been
another-
inviting her up for a
right?
year.
We'll get into that
Mish.
behind the scenes because
Yeah, maybe it'll spark you.
Yeah.
we've been trying. She had a
No,
book
but
all
this-
sorts.
Well,
Tom on the
in fairness,
platform.
that I don't believe that she's directly located in the city.
Yeah, because she's always in
Okay,
Jamaica.
okay.
And,
Right,
like,
so
she's out
traveling
there
a lot.
all
So in all
the time.
fairness, I just
Okay.
seen her too at Patrick Nichols' gig. So
Okay.
I know that she is accessible. I'll try to go through some channels and maybe we could hook it up. Maybe you guys could do it on fucking
Zoom or whatever.
Zoom.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what do you got to do?
anything.
But
We
Zoom,
don't
that's
do
cool,
anything.
but I feel like a legend like her, like you guys, I don't want to do Zoom.
I know that.
I feel like
know that. I get that. I get
you
that.
guys don't
I get
deserve that.
I get that. But you can interview her more than once.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So you
for
can
sure.
do the pre-roll.
Okay, yeah, that's a good
You can do
idea.
a pre-roll. And just because, again, I'm just going with the mantra now, and I've been saying to everybody that Toronto needs a history lesson, man. And it starts with the people that help create this scene, man. Do these young people know about people like Ivan Berry and Ron Nelson?
Yes, we met.
Well,
we met
right?
Ivan
No.
Berry. We met
What-
both of them.
I'm not talking
Yes,
about y'all.
exactly.
Okay,
That's the
okay,
point.
okay.
I'm talking about y'all.
No, we don't.
We don't.
Right.
Exactly. So he wouldn't know that Ron Nelson is one of the biggest guys out
Come
here
on,
putting
man.
on parties, helping
Yes.
out the
Yeah.
community and
Yes.
shit like that. Like
Yeah.
these are the guys we want to interview too, because how else is Toronto gonna have a culture when you don't even know the fucking culture?
Right, but this is the thing that I think is lacking in hip-hop, period. Sure, we need our flowers, but you need to recognize the people coming up because there's a Ron Nelson, but there's also Frontline. Who are doing major promotions now? Do people know Frontline or the people behind that? Yeah, the name may be recognizable to them, but do you know the heads that actually run it and that are really doing things and making waves? You need to speak to them too, because when you do, you'll find out that brothers have been doing hip hop. They used to be MCs. Brother was in the first Crunchy commercial, I believe, breakdancing. These are people that laid the foundation for what we're doing now. So if you're gonna shine light on us, you need to shine light on what y'all are doing too, because it doesn't make no sense if you're looking up at the sun, but you're not able to feel the rays coming back. You understand what I'm saying?
Bars.
Yeah, he's a real writer. I understand why you write me penning those hits. I understand. That's dope.
So take us back now. So yes, you said that Nasty kind of it was
Nasty
the one.
Howie?
Nasty Howie was the one that
gave
hooked
us
you
the
guys
intro,
up.
and Quadro, I always go from the perspective that Quadro tells the story is that he thought that I was an exceptional MC. He's the one that created Ghetto Concept. He had a show at the club at the time was in region called Hollywood. See what I'm saying? That we were able to travel back and forth and do things. On the show, I believe the promoter was infamous brother Gary Kane. I think he was a part of I don't remember the story. Quadro knows the story because he put everything into fruition. And so that is how we went on the stage at Hollywood, and we never walked off the stage saying, okay, we're going to be Ghetto Concept. It just clicked. It was just like, yo, okay, this is what it needs to be, right? And we just moved forward. And I was like, yo, Quad, what's the name? And it's like, yo, Ghetto Concept, man. I'm feeling Ghetto Concept, man. That's the name of what we're doing. Because, again, your state of mind, everything that you do in a ghetto fashion, it manifests mentally before it manifests physically. That's
Right.
the concept, right?
Yeah.
So if we can channel and switch knobs and direct people the right way and see that the more things that set apart are the same things that should keep us together, then we can really move as a unit, right?
Yeah, that's fast.
So even before you guys performed, that click up, was it all peaches and cream, or was it like, was somebody not feeling the other person? Was it like a feel out period at all?
I think if you know, okay, I'll say with me, people don't think they can read me by the way I look, and maybe by the look on my face sometimes. You'll never know what I'm thinking. You know this. We're born under that sign that they call Virgo. Now, I don't subscribe to astrology. I subscribe to astronomy, which is different. I'll give you guys a chance to look it up when you get home, what that means. But I know that all of us are born under certain stars that dictate our personality traits. I'll say that, right? And so, you know, for me, people, they have a hard time reading me. They don't. Come on, you a Virgo, you know
Yes.
that people always misconstrue what you think.
Yep.
And when you say one thing, they think it means another. They don't understand that we do what we say what we mean.
Yep.
And if we don't got nothing to say, we just don't say nothing. Right?
I'm a little bit different. I'll say
Listen,
I'll say something.
If we ain't got nothing to say, we don't say nothing.
True,
We don't
I'm
just
with you.
talk for no reason. At least I'm that way. I'll come into a room, and this is how we used to conduct our business meetings. We would go into like a, let's say BMG, and Quadra would do all the talking. You know what my job is? To listen to this motherfucker talk all that other shit, so that I could go back to Quadra and say, remember he said this. Remember he said this. This is what we don't do. Yes. So we don't always have to talk. That's what I'm saying.
Fact.
We observe. We're very observant.
Very true.
And so with Quadro, for those who don't know, Quadro is just an easy guy to deal with. I don't think there is no, you don't really need to, he falls under that line of Scorpio, so you know how they are already. They're very forceful in
Yes.
their way. They take initiative. They will push the level, but they're composed in the way
Yes.
they deal too.
Yeah.
And I think for the most of the public, that's easy to deal with. That's a more easier personality to deal with. Me, I'll fly off if you piss me off, as you were alluding to. I will go there. I don't care, right? Because at the end of the day, I still have to get up and face my children. I still have to look in the mirror and say, yo, you let this pussy go get away with that? Right?
Oh, that's you. Every time, yo, I can't believe this guy did this. I can't believe this guy
So,
did that. Yo,
you know, but I
what are we gonna do about it? Nigga, this was 2 days ago. Why is this on your mind still?
Word. Yeah. So, you know, we have our faults, we have our good points, but I think Quadra was just a more accessible, easy guy to deal with. So I say all that to say that he made it work for us more than anything. Because, you know, we were around Grassroots, we were around The Orb, we were around Born to Roam, all these guys that were really more affiliated with Rexdale. And me coming in from the jungle, I was like just kind of the odd man out, so to speak. Not really, because I will say that the older heads and the people that were really, really in the street embraced me. I'll say that. So, yeah, man, it's M.O., Stovetop, you already know. Both sides embraced me and gave me love. So I felt at home with them, which is probably why it always felt like we were channeling Rexdale more or pushing Rexdale more. I know that was the view, but again, when I don't need to say something, I'm a firm believer in this. What's understood don't need to be said, right? And so if you know my personality, I don't like to talk a lot. I just like to do shit. So my way of really putting jungle on the map was bringing the MCs that I knew could do stuff. And I tried with some artists, and it didn't work that way because they were still on the street mentality. And, those guys are all the way from Rexdale. What are we doing with them? We're here, right? And I get it. But then I got an MC who I believe is one of the best MCs to ever come out of Toronto, was Ray Smooth. So that's how I put it on for Jungle. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And that was my attack. And I didn't really scream out Jungle like that because my mindset was that I'm trying to move the whole of Toronto. Every hood.
Not just the
period.
one.
Not just the one. Not just the one. Right? There's strength in numbers. And so I didn't want to alienate. I think, if you follow the story, and there's another thing too. I wanted to leave a little something to the imagination. You know what I mean? I wanted you to get involved and check out Ghetto Concept and see what they're about. And then find out the backstory. And find out the foundation, because again, it's important to show the roots, right?
Yes.
Because you don't know where you're going, right? We have a story that is just as fantastic as any American city. Remember, we're 2 hours a plane trip from New York,
Yep.
the mecca of hip hop. How far is LA?
Maybe 4?
How far is the South?
Another 4?
No, South extends to even 12 hours drive.
Eight
about
to
that.
12.
Yeah,
Yeah,
To a drive.
Yeah,
Think
to a drive.
about
yeah.
a drive.
Yeah.
So back in the day, everybody wasn't flying like that. We were driving. So now look at the numbers. We were 8 hours away drive. How far was California from hip hop?
7 days at least.
Oh fuck! Come on, man. So think about who was getting hip hop first. Do you know that in Jamaica they were getting electricity before New York? Do you know that?
I didn't know that.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
trying to
crazy.
tell
And
you.
you guys would probably be going to New York and shit to get the new records when they're
Right,
dropping. And
Right. So we were in tune, and plus, you know how a culture is. Once it starts in a certain place, it emanates, and everything within the circumference of your voice, you're gonna catch it.
That's
And
right.
so we had WBLK back in the day, which was a Buffalo station.
It was still the best station in Ontario. I tell
Right?
you that.
And because of the promotion that they did back in the day too, and the shows that they were bringing, right? Yeah, so they're monumental.
Yeah.
So we were getting a lot of hip hop before States side was getting hip hop,
yeah.
right?
That's dope.
You brought up a name. Is it Grassroots? Grassroots.
Yeah.
They were legendary on you guys' just come
Absolutely,
up in
man.
relationship
Easy on
and
the
stuff
motion,
like
man.
that.
That's the Grassroots right there. Rest up to my brother Born Swift, man. Never be another. That's another blue rose out of the concrete, man.
That's dope.
You know, but life happens sometimes.
So because I used to always hear stories that they were actually a part of Ghetto Concept. We know Infinite.
Yeah.
Who was the other name that we spoke about off topic? With Sticky Fingers.
Sticky.
Allegedly was a part of the
Really?
Ghetto
No.
Concept. Yeah, Sticky Fingers.
Yeah.
Which one?
And that's
Honest?
Yes, Onyx and Sticky
No
Fingers was a part of
fucking
Ghetto
way.
Concept for a minute. Allegedly, from if you look it up, Google.
Yeah.
But yeah, who can you explain to us who were the first members? Because I believe it was a group. I believe Cinco he was rapping with somebody before too.
From my understanding is that Quadro, I think, might have been rapping with Dale when they went to school. They went to school together.
Yes.
So I believe they were doing, but I don't think they did it on a professional front. I
Okay,
think it
so
was
that's
just, more like talent show and maybe aspirations. But when Quadro and I got together, we took it professional, and the foundation of Ghetto Concept is me and Quadro. I am one half.
Okay.
Okay, so it's always been two. It's never been four.
It's been two, and with the exception of Dale coming in as the DJ, and us being in the studio one day, and he spit a bar, and he spit 16, and we
you
were
guys are
like,
like,
you know what, we like that verse, it's got to go on this record.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So because obviously you had the other, well, I don't know if they're members. What would you, because you have Infinite. Also, Jellystone was kind of a part of it, or no?
Jellystone was ORB. He was Orb, original Rude Boys. That was coming out of Rexdale. So we were all under the umbrella of, like, there were so much people.
Yeah.
Listen, everybody out there, please forgive me if I don't say your name now. You all have to get me back here. Honestly,
break it
because
down, yes.
I'm going to feel the fire because they're, and just please be thankful that that if I say your name now, be thankful because there's so much people. But I cannot forget Julian Arthur, who was Puff Daddy before Puffy was Puffy. And I'm talking the good Puffy, not the one that that everybody's trying to kill. Okay? Yeah. He had us all under the umbrella of Groove A Lot Records. And I want to shout out Gadget too, who did our first record, which was Easy on the Motion, and all the time and what he put into that record as well. But yeah, we were under the umbrella of Groove A Lot Records. So it was Orb, it was Grassroots, and then it was us, and then Diamond X came in later, and then I think when we had actually separated from Julian, there was a Concrete Mob, who's another. I mean, that's another group that y'all should have up here.
Concrete Mob.
Come on, man. Come on. Classic material, right? And so yeah, we all came. So I understand why everybody got assimilated. Because people like to, this is another person that they like to leave out of the history is Julian Arthur. Because Julian was doing what y'all couldn't do back then. You couldn't do it. You couldn't. I'm telling you. And he was repping Scarborough.
Oh, wow.
Okay? So that shows you what Ghetto Concept was about, bro. We didn't care about what area you were coming from. We're on a movement. We're opening up Toronto. Period.
That name is familiar, Julian Arthur. Has he worked with like Maestro and stuff? Or no?
I don't know on that level. Right now he's going under the moniker of Reset Music.
Okay.
So y'all check him out on he's on IG.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow him. And Gadget too. Like I'm an engineer, so like I know Gadget was like the mentor of 40.
You know
so,
the
like,
man, the myth, the legend Gadget?
I heard of him. I heard stories
we've
about
heard
this
stories.
legendary man,
the
Gadget,
brother that does not sleep.
nobody talks about.
Yeah,
like it's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, the hidden hand, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. That's dope.
So, okay, so you guys are together now. You guys are putting out music, you know what I'm saying? Easy on Emotions coming out. When did you guys say, we got to have like a label? And where did the 7 Bills thing come together?
Okay, so fast forward, we wanted to take a more hands-on role with our career. So we came with 7 Bills. And then it did what it did for the movement. And I think that all spawned out of us going to New York and meeting heads and becoming 5%ers. And so, 7 Bills, we build to destroy. We build our civilization to destroy their, you know what it is, right?
Sick.
Wow.
These guys
Yeah.
are sick.
So we came with 7 Bills. And we have an affiliation with the Guards still to this day. Again, shout out to Daddy Rose who taught. I knew how to MC back then, but he taught me how to pop a wheelie. You feel me? Because he's coming from the pits of Brownsville, man. Old dirty Brownsville. You understand? So he gave us a different insight and he gave us foundation to the hip hop thing. And so a lot of the things that I learned about hip hop, I learned through him and other collectors in New York, right? So, yeah, we came through that inception. So we said, let's do 7 bills, and then it was just gradual to turn it into G7. So G7 honestly got started with me, Cinco, and Shadow. We sat together and said, okay, this is what it's gonna be. And then, I had my point of period where after Blacks died, I was like, fuck this. I'll be very honest. I just didn't want to do the shit no more. I'll be very honest. I don't think anybody knew that until now. That I was just like, fuck hip hop. I don't want to do this shit anymore. Because here's a person who got out of he was living a certain lifestyle and he had to pay society for it, came out on a good foot, and he never ever really meant any, and I won't even say really, never meant harm to anybody, doing his thing, and to be taken, who was just such an integral part to what we were doing. That fucked me up, man, and it still fucks me up, and Quadra, being a strong one, he's like, the beat still got to go on, but I needed to, because I'm more of the empath and more of the, and I won't say more creative than him, but I am creative, and like that is my suit. I'm not really, I see once the business started to get involved, man, hip hop started to get fucked as far as I'm concerned, bro. I'll be very honest, and so that set me back, and so I just I don't want to do this shit no more.
Wow.
Right, but it's the inception of G7 was really me, Shadow, and Cinco, and then Cinco took it to where it needs to be, and I was always behind the scenes with Cinco. Cinco's my brother, man. That is my brother. So we're always gonna talk, even when we're mad at each other. We talk, right? We're always gonna talk because we see things the same. We just have different approaches to the game.
It's like Magneto and Professor X.
Absolutely.
Was Blacks your guys' manager?
He was our road manager, and at that time we started to manage ourselves, so we needed Blacks in place to. And Blacks would always tell us, they would listen, you guys can't be the bad guys. You guys got to be the good guys because you're the artists. You need somebody to be the voice for you guys. And so that was Blacks.
Condolences,
crazy, man. Condolences to Blacks, bro. He seemed like he was very, very inspirational for y'all.
Absolutely, for me especially. That was my roadie on the road, man. I shared rooms with Blacks. That was my guy, man.
So also too, before we get off, because we kind of skimmed past Sticky Fingers, because you guys do have a song together.
We do. Remix to Precious Metals. Shout out to Stick and Fred, bro. Those are the bros too, man. There was such a history there with them alone. Stick is my brother. Like when Stick was moving around doing the movie thing, I was living at Vancouver at the time, and so when we would get up, we would get industry drunk, man. Me and Stick. We would go out and get drunk like celebrities, bro, and have a good time, man. And again, it just goes back to how are these people outside of my community recognizing the talent and the drive? Because it's not easy. At that time, we had been doing music for, 15, 16 years. How is it that people can recognize a drive from another place in the world and people at home is just like, fuck you, and giving you their ass to kiss? It was crazy. And that's why I felt more than ever at that time, it was just like, yo, it really is about Ghetto Concept, because if this one ghetto don't recognize us, there's other ghettos in the world that will, bro.
Yeah, man, that's how I felt when Trapler Ross is showing us love. And,
Yeah.
Esso from Bag Fuel, but everybody in the city like, fuck those guys, they're bums. It's just like, really?
That's crazy.
You gotta love the city, man.
You got to, man.
You gotta
I
love it.
still love the place, man. It's just the people that keep fucking it up.
Facts, 100% facts. You have some?
Now you go ahead. You got all the questions.
Junos. You guys has also won Junos.
Yeah, back to back, 5 times nominated.
5 times.
5 times.
And they won back to back.
One back to back.
I think you guys are the only.
There's another interesting story. So we went back to back, but then the powers that be had to push the kibosh button on that as well, and then they let another group win 3 times in a row, which took away our record of winning back to back. And I don't think that they had an impact on the city in Canada, period, like Ghetto Concept. I don't see it, but I mean, I'll leave it for somebody else to tell, a story for somebody else to tell. And I believe the year that they won 3rd, me and Quadra were like, okay, when we're not winning this one. This needs to go to Cardi, bro. Because, he's been making waves. And it's just like, I knew that it was a setup because they panned the camera on Cardi when they gave the award to somebody else. And that's when we were truly done, to be very honest.
As a rap group, you guys were just...
As a group, we were just like, you know what? You know what? We were told when we got in and we won our first one that this thing is not going to do nothing for you.
Yeah.
It's just a paperweight, bro. We didn't believe it until we won, until we were put in that position where it was just like, come on, man. If anybody knows, and then we found out about how the voting goes and how it's really not people that are a part of the scene. It's just like you got people who spin records or whatever. So it's easy to get your vote if you're in my district or in my part of town or you're like home team.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so it started to be less about the integrity of the music and more about
The politics
and relationships.
Fam, if I tell you who the group is, if it's the same group I think it is, it's so sticky, fam.
Okay, thank you.
Because in that group, they have a kid, I think multiple kids that ended up becoming artists too.
Oh no, that's not.
Oh, it's not that group.
No,
it's not that group. But they won too, though. I believe they won.
They were the first. Are you talking about TBT?
TBT, yeah.
They're the first, I think, brothers out of the city of coming from
downtown.
that background to win.
Oh,
They were the first, and so we always pay homage. Man, isn't he the father of Casp and them? Isn't he?
Yeah.
It's always love with him.
Yeah.
It's always love with them. I mean,
So it's the. Oh, okay.
No.
So maybe
Google. Yeah, I'll find it for you.
yeah, because I'm trying to figure out what group that was.
But there was a group that won back to back, man.
Jesus.
3 times in a row.
No way, it's the Dream Warriors.
No.
Nah,
Yeah,
remember,
'cause
that's their like.
No,
Yeah,
man.
He's up under them like.
Nah, man. Do your homework, man.
Yeah, I gotta
we
do
gotta have
more
this talk
research.
again, bro.
But
Yeah, when I-
okay, so the Junos obviously don't mean shit, right? Everybody knows that. But like, as you guys were coming up, and you always said like you have to pave the way for the youth. Who paved the way for you guys?
I think I mentioned the names. I think.
Well, Mishi, Dream Wars, but I mean, you're on songs with them, or okay,
Yeah. But even before that, because I remember when there was an HMV.
yeah.
And it was in the mall. And I remember seeing the mall get locked off so that Maestro could be there and an in-signing and sign records and stuff. So, yeah, like, again, man, I think with this, your generation and going down, I don't know how in tune you are with what happened back then, but Maestro was a big deal.
Yeah, he was.
Sort of a big deal.
Oh, he was.
He was. We speak about it a lot. He was on billboards. Like he was doing a lot of big stuff.
Yeah.
But where's the disconnect? That's our whole thing, because we feel like
Bro.
the-
Okay, I'll tell you a story. I got 2 stories to tell you, but I'm going to save the story for later. I'll tell you the first story, where I think everything started. So there's an industry, I'll call him an insider. I don't really fuck with him like that. Quadro knew him. I didn't really fuck with this dude, man. But he came to Quadro's baby mother and said, yo, I have the guy that's going to take your boyfriend's crew down. I'm going to take us down. I mean, what are you talking about? This is hip-hop. We're repping Toronto.
It should be a team thing.
It's a team
Yeah.
thing, so you can't be from the street, because if you're from the street, you're just gonna get in where you fit in and do what we normally do. Like everybody that was doing their thing, Point Blank, and everybody was doing their thing.
Yeah.
We did records with them. It was never about, oh, I'm gonna take those guys down. Even with Circle, we didn't see eye to eye, but we respected each other's talent. So it wasn't about a take us down. It was just about doing what we do. So you're gonna take us down, and then we're like, this has to be somebody that's just on some other wave. You gotta be, and you can't even be pop, because if you're a pop music, you don't give a fuck about our genre. We're not getting in your way. So we're like, what is this talk? And then fast forward, somebody came out and ended up being the biggest artist ever to come out as far as hip hop was concerned.
From here.
From here. So you tell me, what does that feel like? Doesn't that feel like an agenda? Okay.
Definitely it feels. It
It's an
feels
agenda,
like
right?
they didn't like what you guys were doing, or they didn't like the success, and they're like, all right, well, we're gonna take that success.
That's where the disconnect happened. Yes, that's where the disconnect happened. That's when all the American cosigns started coming in, and that's when hip hop music, the street shit that we started doing, started to become a little bit more flavorful to everybody else. Y'all do your homework and think about who I'm talking about.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
I'm really trying to think who.
Oh man, come on, who's the biggest artist
Come
coming
on,
out
bro.
of Toronto now? I ain't gotta read a
Say-
right spell for you.
So they came to you on that bullshit?
No,
with-
the industry
no, industry
insider
came to him and told him that.
Oh, even from then?
Yes.
Yes.
We spoke about this. That
This
the
is
nigga
true
was
story.
the nigga's
I'm not-
been vetted.
Listen,
he was
one thing
on
you gonna
thing
get out of me is the
before.
truth.
Like, come on,
Always.
fam.
You're always gonna get the truth from me, man.
Remember, he had the heads up. My boy had the heads up into things, and then when he came into it, it was just like, all right, well, it's kind of easy flowing for you. It wasn't really that easy, but it's like everybody said, yo, this is the guy and we're going to push you.
Right.
Oh.
And that's where the disconnect began.
But I also feel like the disconnect also, you know, fair is fair. I want to see the disconnect. There's a disconnect between the circle and this whole younger generation. Shout out Cardinal. We had a little thing that we said whatever, and to me it's like instead of him putting out the post on his Instagram friggin' page, he should have came and paged us. And it doesn't even have to be a disrespectful page. Hey guys, you guys are not informed about certain things.
Okay, but was it something that y'all said publicly?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's why he did that. He had to make it public. You've already made it public.
No,
But
he didn't really
make it public. He subbed us.
Kinda,
Oh, he
yeah,
subbed you.
yeah.
He just put up a post with KRS-One talking about, okay, well, the younger generation doesn't really know this and that and third. But I feel like that was his time to be like, all right, there's two young brothers that we see that might not know what's going on.
Right.
Let me just take them to the side. You didn't even have to come on the show.
I totally get your perspective. And what I'm saying in defense, and I'm not even going to say in defense because I don't know what his train of thought was. But I would say if it was for myself, because, okay, case in point, it's like this. I understand what you're saying. I totally get it. I do. Because somebody asked Haji Bosco and them about Ghetto Concept. And they were like, yo, we don't know that.
Yeah. I seen that.
Right?
I seen that.
And the first thing that comes to your mind is like, what the fuck? But then you realize, yo, these are younger kids coming up, man.
Yeah.
They weren't moving around when we were moving around. And I know that they got an OG over there that's going to talk to them about it anyways. And so that you heard me say today, I was a fan of them before they did that and a fan after. I like what they're doing, right? So, but you also have to take that into account. That, as you said, some brothers out here are just not informed. And given the platform, I will say this though, given the platform that you have, I think his take might have been that you need to be a little bit more educated about certain things before you say certain things. That's where he's coming from.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you a quick, little interesting little history lesson so that you can walk off with that. He subbed you. He could have been vocal, and he could have said it the Dolo way, which was like, yo, what the fuck are y'all doing?
But I still think
Right.
that needs to be had though.
I
I
still
still
think so,
feel like that's where the disconnect comes, especially when we're trying to build the culture. Because if we're a platform, it would have been different if we were just random niggas just trying to be dickheads.
Yeah.
Right.
But
right.
we're actually trying, like, if you watch our stuff, I don't. He does. But it's just like I feel like it's a situation where it's just like, okay, they're from our city. They mean well. It's not like they're doing it in an asshole
so
way
you
or
didn't do
something.
it in that dickheadish way.
Nah, we didn't do it in the dickheadish
Okay.
way.
No, it's
It
whatever.
could have been misconstrued.
It could have been misconstrued that way a little
Hold on.
bit.
So
The way
are you guys West Indian?
yes.
I'm sure.
Okay, so when I'm in my house now and you come through my door, who's supposed to say hi first?
Me.
Okay. That's it.
But we've been saying hi
hold
though.
on, hold
We've
on.
been saying
Hold on.
hi.
But come on, man.
And we take off our shoes when we came in too.
Oh, right, that's what I'm trying to say.
So-
So taking off the shoes means that you don't go against the OGs them until you do your homework and have a little convo. We're accessible, bro. We are. And this is the disconnect that people don't think we're accessible. How did y'all guys reach me? Somebody knows somebody that knows somebody that knows me.
6 degrees.
It's
6
3
degrees, that's
degrees in
it,
Toronto.
It's 3
3
degrees. It's
Facts.
not even 6.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
That's
3 degrees.
3
Yeah, it's because
100%,
Toronto is so
100%.
small.
It's
That
so
is,
small,
it really
so
is.
We are accessible.
But-
yeah.
You guys, some of you are going back to it. I've had conversations with Mishi. I've had conversations with Shockley.
Right.
We've had conversations with Socrates.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, and maybe there is again a communication problem, a disconnect between us and Cardinal, because Cardinal is the really person I want to have a conversation to, because I feel like
In your era, I would say he's the most successful.
just like I hear a lot of people feel like he didn't make it yet, and that's fucking crazy that our city feels like Cardinal didn't make
What are you
it.
talking about,
Fam,
bro?
there's people we've had conversation with,
That's-
whether they're a guy, I'm not gonna expose anybody either, but there's people in the industry that have said, well, Cardinal is not a guy like, and I'm like, how?
Yeah,
Like, our
because-
disrespect is never like, and I think to him is not the disrespect part. It's just like we see in the States. I'll see Jay-Z give the newest, like a Pop Smoke some love. We'll see, you know what I'm saying, Birdman work with NBA Youngboy. So
Yeah.
why can't it be the same here?
Yeah.
And again, I just want to hear it from his words. He doesn't have to come on the show. He can tell me behind the scenes, but I want to know, why is there such a disconnect from the older to the younger to the middle? We should be together more.
Yeah.
And that's my only thing. I want to figure out how we can get to that solution, if there is a solution to get to,
Right.
and that's it.
And it doesn't even really have to be like a oh, come hit me up in the DMs. It could be like a masterclass. You know what I'm saying? It could be something he does every year. You know what I'm saying? Where he can connect with just the other artists in the city, just to be like, just to share his story, for us to like have some sort of motivation to be like, yeah, you know what you did actually was another path instead of Drake's way. Because there's many ways to be successful here.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And sorry to cut you too, because it's the same thing. I'm pretty sure when you're at Patterson, same thing you said. You're seeing certain things.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
The difference.
The differences. And I feel like with here, we don't get that. I'm pretty, like, if you're in the States, you'll hear from like Red Alert, Cool Herc, all these, you know what I'm saying?
This goes back to what I'm saying. Somebody had to get in between to create the disconnect, bro. That's how it happened. I'm telling you that. Certain things were set in place and the industry started to be structured in a way that there was a separation so that the older heads who laid the foundation were not getting the flowers that they deserved. So the youth looking at them was like, you didn't reach nowhere. Why am I looking to you for inspiration? Yes, somebody got in the way of that. Don't think that there's not an agenda out here to take us out, bro. Don't ever think. That's why I say life is bigger than hip-hop. I love hip-hop for what it did for me at that time, but I had to step away because hip-hop is not my life. It's not.
That's fucking...
No,
and
because
that's just the fucking truth.
He's not lying, because look, everybody we talk to, what did they say? This shit starts with my boy. And that's a problem. And I don't like that, because we've had conversations with my boy. Oh, my show's on Billboard.
Yeah.
So if my show was the first artist, to me, if he's the first artist to be on Billboard, that's what the nigga we gotta give respect to.
Thank you. And then when you got the top guys not giving respect, fuck Ghetto Concept. You don't have to shout us out. We don't fuck with you anyways, to be truthful. But for the people that laid the foundation, aren't you gonna respect them on a level? I'll give you a perfect story. I was with Stick in Vancouver. He was shooting, I think, Blade at the time, at the TV show.
Yeah.
And this was in the midst of him and Onyx having a little tiff. I'll call it a little tiff with 50 at the time, who was just coming through the door. They're both from Queens.
Yeah.
At no time, and I know Stick, we had conversations. At no time did Stick ever, if he was ever gonna disrespect 50, he would have did it to me. He never disrespected 50 one time. He said, yo, I champion that brother. That music, that brother's off the hook right now with what he's coming with. And Quadro was there. I'm talking 50 Cent, Onyx, everybody at Apollo Theater. We were there from the inception, man. There's a lot of first that Ghetto Concept did, man. Do you know that Snoop Dogg came up to me after Soul Plane and rolled me a joint and said, bro, you're the next one to come if you just keep it up, man. I'm seeing everybody from your city. You're it. You understand that? So there's a lot of accolades that Ghetto Concept has, but they've always made the inception of hip-hop from Toronto start with somebody else that wasn't there from the foundation. You don't think that's intricate plot?
I do.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you another question, because this is actually one of the reasons why I got, what did everybody say? I got fired from my old platform. But there was an OVO Fest thing that happened that year, right? Okay. And there was a big, what my boy said was there was a big celebration of the people from Toronto hip-hop that whatever, right? He brought out pretty much everybody. One of the people after the show was done, I wanted to go pod and be like, why the fuck wasn't Ghetto Concept there?
Oh man, that's the other story. Thank you.
So like I believe it was like 2-3 years ago.
You see the mind connect here?
Because I'm seeing certain people, I'm seeing certain songs getting played and whatever, and I'm just like,
talk about it, brother.
I feel like there's somebody missing.
Okay, so that's the second story I said I was going to tell you. So check this. Now, we see the same thing, and this leads to what I said about fucking with Kendrick was the wrong thing to do at this time. I said it to Quadro, and Quadro, when he gets an opportunity to speak for himself, right, he will. But I said it to Quadro. I said, you know what? This is the beginning of the bullshit that is about to transpire with Son, and you're going to see it. You know why? Because, as I said, there are industry tastemakers, and there are people that actually know us. And they're saying to themselves, where's Concept, bro? What are you doing? Ghetto Concepts carried this for about 10 years, bro, streetwise, when nothing was going on.
I'm gonna be real. You got bigger songs than half of the niggas that were up on that stage.
Thank you. So where's them? And I said, Qua, you gonna see it, man. That you gonna see this is gonna be a downward spiral. Because you know what you did now? You awoke a sleeping giant. We were minding our business. Now, if they had asked us, would we have performed? No. We were gonna do the shit anyways. And that's just the truth, for our own reasons. And I'm not saying it to be big, bad, and boast, but we weren't gonna do it. You understand? But you still should have gave us the first right of refusal. Did we not? You had Frank and Dank up there, bro.
Jesus Christ.
No disrespect to them, bro. But even they will tell you, yo, where's Concept?
Shout out my guys, Frank and Deck, by the way.
Shout out to
Shout
the
out
brothers, man.
Frank and
They're
Deck.
repping the D.
Check out our
right?
interview
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
Yeah, check
yeah,
out our
yeah.
interview.
Yeah, brothers repping the D.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, come on, man. You're talking about Toronto. Foundation.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what the excuse was? Oh, I didn't have a connect for them. Get the fuck out of here, man. You didn't have a connect.
That's what the excuse was?
Yeah, that's what the excuse was.
Wow.
We didn't have a connect for them. We couldn't find them. But you found Infinite, didn't you? And Infinite came as an afterthought. I'm gonna say it. Infinite and Jelly came as an afterthought.
Did you feel a way that they went up there and kind of
Man.
like, like
those
not
are
go
my-
up there and be like, yo, GC all day?
I saw it from both sides. I'll be very honest. At first, I didn't like that shit at all. Because Concept wouldn't have did that. And I'm going to be very honest. If you don't include my brothers, fuck you.
Fuck you.
If it's fuck us, it's fuck you. Straight up. I don't care how rich you are. I don't care who's your cosign. Fuck you, nigga. That's how I feel. And so, yeah, we were heated about that, but we understood their position. We did. We get it. It's just something that we wouldn't do. I'm not dissing them. It's just we wouldn't do that. Yeah, at all.
So if there was a conversation beforehand, would you be able to perform? And I'm pretty sure the conversation is needed, but do you think it will ever happen?
With who?
With the boy.
I don't. You know what? I think in the grand scheme of things, I think he's got bigger fish to fry for one. I don't think we're anywhere on his radar, and he's really not on our radar for everything that we're trying to do. That's just the honest to God truth. Because Ghetto Concept, what he doesn't have is the story that we have. Because of the test of time. He's did a lot for what he was supposed to do in his time, but we've been here doing things longer than that. And so that's always going to win, because you know what they like in music, period? The story.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
want to hear the story.
Yes, that's
Right?
That's for sure.
So we got a story that you can't hide that, man. The truth is always going to come to light anyways. So my focus is not on him. I would say that I'm not going to kick his back in, because I know he's going through it. I, as an OG, as an elder statesman, I would never do that. But I'm saying that I pray for the boy to get the right people around him, because the right people around you would have said, yo, my nigga, that's not the thing to do right now, because at least if you're going to do that, get the fucking title of having the most hits like Michael. Then you can start to act funny and do whatever the fuck you want. Man, yo, bro, trust me. But it wasn't the move. And if he had the right people in his ear, that wouldn't have happened. None of that would have happened. And I'm not blaming Wayne. I'm not blaming anybody else. Because they told him from the inception, as long as you sing and you do these nice songs, you ain't got no problem here. Just stay out of our lane. Because our lane is a different thing. Once you start to tiptoe in that lane, you're going to invite some problems. Now take this young brother Pulitzer Prize winning who came from the hood. What do you think he's seen every day? You're lunch meat to him right now.
Fact.
He's been waiting for you to come. What the fuck, bro? You walked yourself to him. But, it's sad. I'm not going to kick his back in. I think it's a teachable moment for all of us.
Facts.
Right? That there's always, remember I started this? I said this? There's always something greater than you out there. Once you start to get thinking...
Too much? You'll get humbled quick.
Quick. Father got a sense of humor like that, man. He will humble your ass quick.
I'll never forget, bro. I was sitting on there, yo, I'm the best interview in Toronto. Yo, none of these guys can talk to me. Burner Bands came through, worst interview ever. Worst interview ever. I was like, fuck, fam. Yeah, I needed that humbling. You need that sometimes.
Yeah, you do.
But it's crazy that you said that, because I've been saying that for like the last 2 years, is that even after this whole situation happened, I'm like, my boy just needs to go, relax, fall back.
Get in your acting bag, bro.
Don't even do that. Make people miss you. Do something that you've never done
but,
before.
when I say get in your acting bag, like, listen, he has production teams. He has all that behind him.
Yeah,
He can get
yeah.
into film and do some stuff, monumental shit.
Tell Tales of Toronto.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You can do
yeah,
so
you
much
can do a
other
lot.
things,
You
because
can do a
I
lot.
don't believe that he's just a one-trick pony.
He's definitely not, yeah.
no.
Right. So
Not
do
those,
that.
Oh, man. Really quick, too, on that subject. Shout out Monday. Monday did a video a while back, too. He was also saying that he possibly subbed you guys for that situation because of Big Page's affiliation with you guys. Do you believe that's true?
That's more of a, I would say that, because I don't know. I really don't know. I know there's an affiliation there more through Cinco and Shadow. I'll be very honest. I've met Paige a couple of times. I don't know if we got to work with each other, but that was, they came through with Paige. I know that for a fact. I know Shadow was back there quarterbacking a lot of things for Paige too. So I get that, but I'm going to tell you what Snoop Dogg told me. In this industry, be nice to everybody, because you never know who that motherfucker is going to be. And that's the way I deal with life, period. You don't know us. You don't know what we were thinking. What, are we guilty by association? Are you now guilty by association? Is everybody around you guilty by association now? Should everybody be given the same moniker that you're running from right now? That you don't want nobody to say? Sending out cease and desist and shit? Do you want that on you? But you put that on us. You had a problem with this, brother. You never had a conversation with us a day in your life. I seen you, nigga, in Yorkdale, picking up a honey. When I seen you, it was love. Hey, what's up? Salute. What happened? Paige? Nah, man, it's deeper than that, man. Again, somebody came to the brother's big mother and said, yo, I got the guy that's going to take your boyfriend's team out. You tell me what that is about. You tell me.
That's an agenda to get you guys out of there.
Come on, man. Come
They
on,
probably
dog.
saw, like you said, you guys had like deals with Anichi and NYC. I seen you in like magazines and stuff.
Yeah, we
like,
were doing,
so you guys were like
Ahead of the time.
up there.
Yes,
Getting,
Helly
you know what I'm
Hansen.
saying? Yeah, Helly Hansen for sure. I seen that ad.
We were doing things.
So
Nike,
it's-
we had an account with Nike at one time, too.
Ooh, so like you guys were doing such big things on the American side of the industry,
Where
and
we
it's
get
like,
most of our respect, yeah.
And it's not even just that. They're what you would say like gangster rappers per se. They
Street,
could
definitely
street
street-oriented.
rap, yeah,
Street-oriented.
street
I like that
rappers.
word, yeah, I
You're
like
in
that.
that. So even that, it's like they're getting that kind of love. Where the popular guys, they're not even getting that kind of attention.
Bro, do you understand that Ghetto Concept had the first video on
BT.
his first streets?
Yes.
You understand that? Do you know that Jam Master Jay wanted to sign us?
No.
It's just that we were with
Jesus.
Julie and Arthur at the time, so we couldn't do it.
so he stopped the signing,
Well, I mean,
or were you
he
guys
was
with
the
him?
label,
Okay, he was the label.
right?
Okay,
So
okay.
we couldn't go with Jay, but he loved us. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, we have a deep history, right? We have touched a lot of heads, man. Red Alert said, yo, y'all, man, when can I get y'all again? When are y'all coming back again? That's how it was. Like, people, because in America, and I'm gonna bring up another name. I'm not. What's the term for it?
Dropping
Name dropping, name
Get the fuck
dropping.
out of here. So how come when these guys get on and they say I work with this person and I work with this person, it's okay? But when we do it, it's dropping
talk
names.
your shit,
the
brother.
Fuck out
Talk
of here,
your
man.
shit, man. Talk
Yo,
your shit.
Shock G from Digital Underground, who's
Rest in
responsible
peace,
for
rest in
Tupac.
peace. Yeah, rest in peace.
Right?
Yeah.
We met him through my brother Fly You, who I keep shouting out from Cinema Giants again. Y'all check them out, man. They're doing big things. He had a meeting. He was doing casting, I believe, for a video or for a movie, because that's what Yuli does. And so Shock G was in there. And so Shock G knew the history. And he said, yo, man, let me talk to y'all, man. Said, yo, I see what y'all are going through. Don't worry, man, because it happened to Rakim too, man. We laid a foundation, and people forget, and they act like you're not here, man, but you're going to receive your flowers. It's probably take a little longer than most, but you're going to receive your flowers, so don't worry about it. And this is Shock G. Right? So again, I go back to the question. How come we're getting all these accolades from people who didn't grow up the block near us? And then people at home. You know why? Because the prophet is never respected at home. Prophet's never respected
Never.
at
Did
home.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah.
Come on,
They
man.
did him.
Look at how they did him, for real.
Okay, I'm gonna stay mixy for you for a minute because we were talking about 7 Bills and G7. There was a artist on there that had a lot of attention. She was, I would not say, was looking at as the first queen of the 6, Rima Major.
Okay.
What happened to Rima?
Rima, life happens sometimes, man. And
Facts.
you get things, you know, she, and again, this is another quadro question. I'm gonna throw it there because, yeah, he worked personally with her.
Okay.
I came in not too long ago and did some work with Rima. I would say that life happens sometimes, and you know, when I walked away, I went through a lot of shit. I went through a lot of ups and downs and personal stuff, and I just had to just stay where I was at and figure it out. And I think there came a time when she went through it too. Like every artist goes through that. Your man is going through it now, where you got to sit back for a second and think about everything and think about who's there for you and what's my next move. And I think it was a standstill for her too. I think she came to that crossroads and had to chill out for a second.
Do you think it was before her time? Like when she came out, maybe if she came out like a few years after, like it would have fit her time better, or?
I'm gonna tell you, there's another part that I know she got blocked too. She got blocked.
Oh yeah?
blocked.
Yes, because, and I know this for sure, and I'm not gonna, and again, I don't want to start pointing fingers and making it look like grumpy old man, so I'm not gonna say too much, but I will say that there was somebody that was at the top of the league in the industry that was supposed to show up in her video, and after he had a conversation with a certain individual, he didn't show up.
Rick Ross.
No, Rick Ross is in the video with her.
Oh,
Rick Ross is in the video with her? With which video? Her video?
Told you.
No, I could have sworn he is in a video with her. No,
Her video?
That's not her video though.
Her video?
I could have sworn it was her video.
He's in the background.
Yeah, he didn't rap or anything, but he's just in the
Okay.
background. He's just
Show
in the background.
Okay.
Yeah, he's there.
Just a cameo?
Yeah, that's
You right though.
Just a cameo?
No. You're right. Just a cameo at that time, like giving her a verse at that time in Ross's who he was going to be would have helped a lot. Like I hear what he's saying. Like just the cameo thing. It's the same thing like we said about my boy. He got the song,
you
but
never
no
got the
video.
Yeah. Like, what's that?
Like the video would have took that really over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, son.
So
But,
those
you know,
things matter. Like,
Of
you
course
know,
they do.
like,
Of
is
course
it?
they do. Because, I mean, think about the Canadian market share. What is it? Point what? Right? I mean, if you're talking about hip-hop music, you're talking about America. They're the big dog. So you need those things. You know? It's a part of it. And especially at that time, right? You definitely needed it. So for her not to get it, and other hands were, and I mean, again, she was going through certain things that I won't speak on because
Personal, yeah, that's
come on,
her
it's personal
story.
shit,
Her
and it's
story.
her story to tell.
Exactly. Yeah.
But those things help, and when you have people that are constantly trying to block you and throw little obstacles in the way, man, that shit ain't gonna happen the way it's supposed to happen. It's just not gonna happen on when you expect it. Let's say that, because anything that's for you, you gonna get it.
Do you still feel that way with the scene now? Seeing how there's social media, there's bloggers, it like the city or the scene just itself has changed. Do you feel like you still need? Obviously, you need a little bit of American buzz or whatever, but do you still feel like a Toronto artist can blow up in Toronto without going across?
I mean, if you stay local, you're gonna be local.
But you can still like tap in, like you could be on social media and tap into some of the blogs in the States,
Yeah,
UK.
but I think there's a buzz that you need to create, and we'll be very honest, at least I will, is that you need money behind that.
100%.
You still need radio. Like all this digital shit is cool. You know who's the first person that came up with this whole digital idea and went to Silicon Valley and pitched his idea? My brother Quadro.
Oh, Cinco?
Yeah.
Quadro?
He pitched that. And somehow it didn't fall in his hands. Right? So I say that to say that, you know, again, these obstacles. So you need to pay bread. When there's obstacles, what goes through?
Money.
Money.
Mm.
Money
Yeah.
talks. What
Yeah.
Jellystone say? Money talks. Bullshit runs a marathon.
Mhm.
Right? So you need paper. So you gotta, and so you need money to break records and do what you need to do. So until you got that money, you're really not in the game. Right? Cinco says it all the time. I'm in the business. I'm not in the game. Because it's not a game. You need paper to back what you're doing. You do. Now, can you be like Soulja Boy and get on there with something, you know, catchy and everybody be Soulja, ooh, and maybe. I'm not saying don't try, but this is the harsh reality of it. And now the way the game is set up is just like, you know, some people need writers, man. You do need writers. So I'm never gonna kick your back in for that. But I stand on being an MC. I have a bravado about me because I will never let a nigga touch my pen. Are you crazy? You write your own shit. I'll write mine, man. Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. Not having a pen doesn't knock you from being a GOAT. I guess in that opinion.
Of course. Forget about our conversation. What do you think the goats say? Nigga, you don't write your own shit. You're not a goat. They say this. Come on, bro. I'm not hiding it. That's what they say. They may not say it to you because they don't want to hurt your feelings.
Then why do people always push the goalpost that, oh, it's okay, that's
Yeah, man.
that's the,
Because
that's
it's-
the
we
society.
know.
You know why?
I want his
Because a
opinion.
lot of
I
the
want his
messy
opinion.
fans that don't even know the culture. Case in point, I seen fans on the internet talking about, yo, fuck what Rick Ross is saying. Rick Ross used to be a beast anyways. And I'm like, but didn't your boy know he was a beast before he started doing songs with him?
Yeah.
The
exactly.
fans make it messy. The people that don't understand the culture. They need to shut the fuck up and let homie live. You're not helping him at all. Be quiet. Yeah, that's why you don't have a microphone in front of you, because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That's what it is. Yeah.
Bro, it's like another version of me right here. I'm like, holy fuck, bro. I'm with it. I'm here for it. Has any of the younger acts come to you and asked you for like any advice, any help?
Anybody that's came to me, we're accessible, man. Come on. We
But
help
no,
everybody.
I know you're accessible, but have you?
Yes, of
Yeah,
course,
they have.
of
Okay.
course.
Because no, we see it sometimes. These guys they won't ask for help. They won't, but then they'll use the excuse, oh, nobody helps me. This and then the third.
Anytime I come across somebody, I offer help. I think that's what needs to be done, because I know that there's a certain pride amongst young people. I don't want to be begging. Yo, I won't be a full beggars. I'm begging this guy. I get it. I get the mentality. We were the same. But again, it takes two hands to clap, right? So there's got to be some common ground that we find in order to work with each other. But definitely, as an older head, you need to take the steps to the younger heads and be like, yo, maybe you can do this, maybe you can do that. But it's somebody got to be able to break the ice. That's what it is, man.
And it would never be you. You would never approach a young.
Oh, I
artist
do it all the
and-
time. Anytime I see
okay.
somebody, I lend what I know.
Okay.
But my perspective is a little different. I'm not trying to get in the game anymore. I don't care about. I love for what it did to take me to the steps that I need to go now, where I'm at now. Because without hip hop, I wouldn't be teaching the truth. I wouldn't be doing what I need to do. So I love it for that aspect. But it's not my end all be all of my story. I went into law after I fell out of hip hop. Right? So it's just like, nah. I'm always there to lend a hand. But again, I'm not the one with the ego. I don't have an ego.
Yeah.
I view everybody the same, right? We're all trying to make it out here.
Has there ever been mentions of comparisons between like you and the Smugglers? Have you ever heard of that, like
No.
in the streets at all?
No. I know I met them brothers before, but I've never heard that comparison. No.
I always thought like, I guess you guys were before the Smugglers, but like the Smugglers always felt like a different version of GC. You know what I'm saying? Like just
Right.
watching the scene, and they were from the era of like Mayhem Moriarty, who was from your block. Like, have you ever had any dealings with Mayhem Moriarty as you were coming up?
Loosely, not a real thing. Mayhem was doing this thing. I always felt like with them too, because I was repping Rexdale and Jungle, that
They felt away.
they felt away.
Oh,
There was a
wow.
little jealousy there, like, yo, bro, you got to rep for us. You can't, like, what's this other thing? I'm like, so I get it. So I never really had that relationship with them. I tried to reach out to Hustle Man, and there was a couple of heads that were coming out of there. But again, animosity and things get in the way, and you just got to move on. Do what you do.
Fuck, that's crazy.
That's sad.
Yeah,
That's
it's sad.
yeah, because I would have loved to see more. I think you guys would have been a better fit for Mayhem than the
Black
Black
Jays.
Jays. That's for sure, because I feel like the
would've
Black
made
Jays
sense.
was just way too commercial, but you guys were like in the middle. Like, you know what I'm
Was
saying?
that
Which
another
were-
fuck Ghetto Concept?
what, back then? Black Jays?
I know. I'm gonna put it out there.
Oh, fuck.
Was it another fuck Ghetto? What, Black Jays?
I'm
Yes.
just saying. I'm just
Why
saying.
would
picking
they?
up- why would-
Why
I'm
would
just
the
saying.
circle guys that are so nice, preppy, everything? All right, let's get tuggy. But they're
saying.
not gonna
I'm just
believe us.
saying.
They're not gonna
I'm just
believe us. So who can we get from the streets?
I'm just saying.
Real recognize real thing. And
Real who? But who was real from that side?
You were real, but Mayhem Moriarty's not.
No, at the moment, his perception was
His
real.
perception
Don't do
was
that.
real.
Don't do
This is
that.
I wouldn't say he's not. I wouldn't say Mayhem was it real. He just
those guys
went into a
those
real
guys don't know that.
situation and
And he
cracked.
came out
Cracked,
like,
and
yeah,
he
he
cracked.
broke. Yeah.
Those guys on that side don't know that about him, though. They don't know that. Yeah, you know, but they didn't. They didn't know that. Why I'm saying it was a fuck you is because it's just how you laid it out.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not gonna say that, you know what I'm gonna say is that we were able to get over that, and I'm cool. I could talk to Sox today. I could talk to Cardi today. We talk on the phone, right? So it's just like, but there was a time when it was heavy, bro. We were did y'all hear the second album? We went at them.
Yeah, you were going at them.
Yeah, we went at them hard.
Well, to me, because my bro used to play them, right? And my bro would tell me, because I was young, I didn't really understand. Even now, like, I still, like, I don't know certain people and certain Toronto history with the music. But my bro was just like, yeah, they didn't like the circle.
We
They
weren't,
didn't like the
and that that came from, again, shit that you get caught up in when you're young, dumb,
Yeah.
and full of cum, bro.
Yeah.
Somebody's girl said that, yo, this guy said that Ghetto Concept ain't real, so we had to defend that, and that's where it went mucky. Maybe we did something that we shouldn't have did on that level and brought it to them on that level because we knew, I think we knew that they weren't street like that. But then you can't be talking about us and we're not street and expect nothing to happen. You don't think we're gonna say something about it? You find out how street we are when you do that shit. Yes. And we're not top tier street, but we're coming up under man that, like, again, remember I gave you the analogy? I
Yes.
gotta get up in the morning and look in the mirror and say, yo, you let this pussy hole get away with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's what that was. That's all it was. That was the conflict.
Did you ever hear any subs or any retaliations back in songs?
We weren't listening for subs, man. We were like, fuck you niggas. Because they weren't what we were trying to be. We were trying to crack the hurdle of getting into the States
Yes,
and getting to
yes.
Europe and all that.
Yeah.
Right?
That again, that goes back to the disconnect. Because just look what he said, they weren't trying to be like those guys, and I feel like that was a problem. I feel like when you look at a guy like Jay-Z, if you look at 50, certain people in the States where they looked at, and you're like, yo, I want to be like those guys. Hold on, you're leaving? You're gone out of here? Hold on, 2 seconds, really quick. Why haven't you two had a track, music video, mixtape?
We're doing it now.
No, but
She just sent me the track like 3 weeks ago.
Luna, why did it take you 3 weeks, 3 years, 5 years to send him a track?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So that's the reason why. Because I would always get at her, like, we've had, I think, 2 interviews, and I've always said, how come you and your dad haven't put anything together?
No,
like,
truth be told.
why aren't you managing her? Or is
Okay, yeah. Again, this goes into what I was just about to say is that remember I stepped away from hip hop.
Yes.
So I wanted nothing
to do with it?
Right.
at period. And of course, I played the consigliere and give tips and share advice, but and I understood the dynamics of doing it with your children. They're not going to listen to everything you say. They're going to want to do their own thing. And so you got to let them feel their growing pains. You can't get involved in that way. And it'd be different if I was at the leading the charge of trying to be in the industry and trying to pave the way at that point. But at that point, I wanted nothing to do with the industry. So it didn't happen that way. But I mean, I was always in the background like, okay, this is what you need to do. I like this song. This is the push. Yada, 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 yada. As far as making the tracks, it's just, again, we're never in the same space. She records like I record. If you're not there, we're not working. That's just it.
That's dope.
Unless, but we just were never able to choreograph. Then I was in the islands for like 3 years. We're always moving around and doing things. So, yeah.
What was success for you coming up? Like, let's just say around the time you're doing Easy Motion, Easy on the Motion, and Crazy World. What was success for you back then? Like, what would you consider, okay, I'm having this is a successful career for me? Was it making it to the States, being on a BET, performing somewhere, platinum record?
I think personal success is different from success as the group and where the group, I felt the group needed to be. Follow.
Yeah, no,
My
for sure.
personal success really, for me, it ended with the cosign from Snoop telling me like, yo, you the boy. Like, your pen is gifted, man. Because, and I seen, this is funny, because I seen Tyrese pose the same question. Who's bigger right now? You can't tell me that Snoop Dogg ain't the biggest artist, period. Worldwide.
We were just talking about this last night.
Globally, man.
He's the biggest rap star, period.
Right? So to get that cosign, I knew back then. And see, this is the thing with me and Quadro. We've always been visionaries. We always knew who the boy was before everybody else said it. We knew. Just like how we predicted that Wayne was going to be the boy. Because we were in New York when it was the Hot Boys and Bling Bling. We were there when all that was taking place. And we were like, yo, bro, that song is fire. But do you hear Wayne spitting? Do you understand what's going on, bro? Yo, he's a beast.
They're setting him up.
Before everybody knew he was a beast, we were there. And so this has always been the thing with Ghetto Concept. We've always been ahead of the time. So I always knew that, again, I got good lessons from good clientele, man. And yeah, that cosign is what fucked me up. That's what my level of success was at that time, before everything started to go sideways for me personally.
Yeah.
Level of success for the group, the story's not over. It's not over. Ghetto Concept is still doing certain things on a different level where we're going to get that story out there, right? That will be the level, I think, of success is for everybody to know the back history. And this is why I keep saying that Toronto needs a history lesson, because once Toronto gets the history lesson, then Canada going to get the history lesson. Canada gives the history lesson, then the U.S. is going to get it. And it's going to trickle down. It's like that. I don't know if y'all grew up with the Vidal Sassoon effect, and so on, and so on. And that's how it's going to work. So that level of success, we haven't hit that yet because we haven't did certain things that we need to do.
Just make sure I'm in that movie, bro. In some
movie, the docu-series.
Whatever it is,
the docu-series.
Whatever it is,
bro,
Man Dem need to be in it.
I've just been here for the longest time thinking Poot is playing my boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I'm thinking in my head is like, yo, Poot from The Wire is playing Dolo, fam. You know what I'm saying? Like, we get this series going because even that, too, I feel like that could be a docuseries within it, the Ghetto Concept docuseries.
Bro, you would be a fool not to get on board. I'm telling y'all now, man. What's the name of the runaway train, man? They're bored now, bro. Because it's gonna be a movie. I'm telling you. Nobody, I don't think anybody coming out of the city, out of the country, period, has the backstory like we have. We have all the integral pieces. Sex, money, murder, mayhem, money, everything is involved.
Yeah, like,
on a real life angle. Right? It's not, you don't have to make up shit about our story. We seen shit take place. Bro, we were in LA the night that Biggie Smalls died. We were there. We were supposed to meet him the next day.
What?
You understand this?
Wow.
Listen, we were supposed to go to the Peterson Museum. And so our manager at the time was Jeremy Larmer. And at that time we had to deal with Red Ant, right? I think they filed Chapter 11, and so whatever. But we were with Jeremy Larmer at that time. And so we were there with Rome. It was me, Quadro, and some other heads. I can't remember right now. But in any event, we were there. And Jeremy wanted us to go out to the Peterson that night. And then we were like, well, our lawyer at the time was Blair Holder, so he had hooked it up for us to meet Big the next day at a mansion party. So I'm like, you know what? I don't like the air in the city. I don't like, because we heard things while we were moving around. Remember, we're plugged in. So we were hearing things, and we were like, you know what? I don't know if it's the smart play to go over there tonight. There just might be too much going on, and it's really just us, right? We really didn't have the heads with us. So it's just like, you know what? We're not going nowhere. And Jeremy's like, you know what? Dolo said we ain't going nowhere. We're going to stay in tonight. So 4 o'clock in the morning, bring, 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 bring. Quadro gets the call. Yo, did you hear what happened to Chris? To Chris, what are you talking about? Turn on the TV. Everywhere, man. Everywhere.
Jesus Christ.
Wow, we could have possibly got a friggin' Ghetto Concept featuring Biggie Smalls tune, fam. Oh, they would have definitely gave you guys your fucking flowers then.
Yeah, and it hurts because I seen Big. I was right beside him in Jack the Rapper 92. Or it might have been 93. Jack the Rapper 93. And we were walking down the same laneway, but I didn't want to shout him out because I knew stuff was going on. And he's looking at me the same way like, yo, who's this you? Like, right? So I just kept it cordial. But the year before, I actually got to meet Pac. Wow.
Wait, Jack the Rapper was in Atlanta?
Yeah.
That's that same shit in BMF.
Yes.
That whole
The
convention.
convention.
Holy fuck, he was there.
Yeah, Freaknik and all that. We were there. Man.
Fuck.
And there's another story I'll give y'all. I don't know how much time we got, but
I don't know, the camera, whatever the camera stops and I can switch the card or whatever. We got time.
I'm going to give Infinite his flowers right now because we had a tiff recently and we smoothed it out.
Oh, God bless.
Yes,
God bless.
of course, because that's my brother from
man.
regardless of anything. So shout out to you, sir. Shout out to your family, your beautiful family. Shout out to Kane, and I see your children. Your seeds are doing well, and I'm proud of you, and I'm proud of what you've accomplished in this game, brother. So we're in Jack the Rapper. We're in the elevator, and so it's supposed to be Snoop's pool party. So we get in the elevator, and we see this 6'5" dude, light-skinned, muscle-bound. And he's like, where y'all going? And Infinite is like, who are you?
Who are you?
And he said, what'd you say? And then me and Quadro chimed in, we're like, who are you? Who are you? Nah, brother, this party is more private. It's for more of, female clientele. So y'all got to catch us on the next one. Fast forward, we didn't know that we were talking gangster to Suge Knight.
Oh, fuck.
And that's why I'm saying that if you're from Toronto, you can make it anywhere.
Okay.
You can make it anywhere. You just have to learn how to channel how you deal with people and how you deal with things. But it starts at home.
Yeah.
You get your practice at home before you go anywhere, right? When you're getting raised as a child, you get a practice in your household before you start to deal with people on road.
That's facts.
Right? So that's how you gotta use every opportunity you get to practice and channel your skills and manifest your craft and learn how to deal with people abroad before you can take it there.
Let me get into some like worldly stuff that's going on, because we'll stay on the kind of like a Toronto topic right now, because I've clearly you've probably seen Kendrick Lamar is performing at the Super Bowl halftime show. It's caused the ruckus everywhere. What's your take on it? Do you think it's a conspiracy thing now? Do you really feel, because we spoke about this yesterday or the day before? I can't remember when we were podding last, but it does kind of seem like there is an industry against Canada. I wouldn't say Toronto per se, but it feels like Justin Bieber gets sick all of a sudden. The Weeknd never, he's been dope for a very long time and he's never really get the flowers he's supposed to. Tory Lanez' situation.
Oh, yeah.
And now the boy's going through what the boy is going through. Is it Toronto being Toronto and being like, yeah, like something is up there, or no, we're just all conspiracy theorists?
I think ultimately, you know what? I'll say this. Back in the day when me and Quadro first started, we took our record to certain taste makers who were, at the time, somebody in the industry, I'll say, a few heads. And what we walked away with was that, oh, this shit is dope, man. It will fly in England. You understand what I'm saying? So they weren't ready to embrace the whole idea of Canada and having hoods and having tough dudes or growing up in socially and economically challenged neighborhoods. They weren't ready for that.
Which is crazy because we have the first ghetto.
Thank you. Regent Park.
Like, that's crazy,
Right.
but...
Like, come on. I was the first to actually bring out this fact years ago, right? So I know the history, right? And that's why I'm saying that, again, not to toot our home, but Ghetto Concept is integral to this whole story of Canada, period, because we're still here knowing the history of both angles, from every angle, right? Because we came in on that leader of the new school type time where we got a good idea of what happened before and what went on moving forward. I digress. As far as them trying to block Canadians out, I've never pondered that. I've always felt like certain things are based on an individual basis. And I think when you do certain things and you don't pay your toll in certain ways, Americans will give you that nigger wake-up call. They will give you the, okay, you make your music and you're cool and all, but, I mean, the birthplace is here. You got to pay homage here. Now, I think every individual career should be spoken to differently because there's certain things that each one of them did that I wouldn't have personally did. From the outside looking in, I'm not knocking them. But there's certain things that shouldn't have been said, shouldn't have been done. But it's more so, it's not what you said, it's what you did, right? And I think Weeknd, I can't speak on that because I'm a fan of Weeknd. I'm a big fan. Like, out of everybody that if you're gonna ask me about impact or who do you like, I like The Weeknd. That's my guy. Tory too. I'm a fan of Tory because he's like a triple threat at this point. You should put him in front of a camera, honestly. Honestly, because he's a personable dude.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm a fan of his too. But I think, ultimately what happened, everybody that was supposed to be unified once you made it over there, they didn't get together. They didn't get together. You didn't move as a unit. Right? I think they wouldn't have been able to do that to y'all if y'all had got together. Like the whole mantra that Ghetto Concept has been preaching for like 20, 30 years. It's Toronto, all of us, and fuck everybody else. Because all we got is us. Nobody else understands how we grew up and how we were always isolated because of our slang. Think about that. Yeah, they love to hate on us. We got a West Indian culture here too that's heavy. Yeah. Just like England's. How come y'all don't be hating on England the way they talk?
But it's always us. It's always us, yeah.
Yeah, because what's put out there is we're all about good-looking women and beer. That's it. They don't talk about anything else with us. So if you realize that, and this, again, I have to fault certain individuals because you're not socially conscious. You're chasing the bag when you should be chasing a way to make way for your people. Yes, because you're not going to win by yourself. You need a collective. You do. We realized that early. Julian realized that early, which is why he had so many groups under his umbrella. Right. Yes. And so I think that was the fault that was made by all of them. That wouldn't have happened. Now, individually, is the Americans trying to take everybody out? I don't know yet. I haven't wrapped my head around that. Really.
I think so. I think there's a play. I just find it very, very weird right now. It's
a play right now, though, eh?
Yeah, I think it's a play.
It's a play on certain individuals right now. I'll tell you because I have the inside scoop. It's a play right now.
Yeah.
There's a play going on.
Yeah. 100%.
Somebody's trying to get dethroned out here, bro.
Oh yeah,
trying to get rid of somebody.
Yeah, because they seen you've been a guy for too long, and now we got to change that.
Mind you, the guy that helped break almost everything that's popping right now.
We're over there, yeah.
Mind you.
But now you're not playing ball with us anymore. You're not playing ball. And two, you're like, I see it because pretty much it's like it's so crazy. It's really like rustling. Like when a rustler's deal's almost done, they'll look at all the injured time and they'll just put that injured time on that so you can't leave your contract just yet. Yeah. And I feel like they really don't want my boy to go fucking independent.
Like he's not
Just like Tory.
Yeah,
They didn't
yeah.
want Tory to go independent either, because when you're so talented like those two, and then you can like pretty much do whatever the fuck you want, I think that messes up what they're trying to do. And he was already a part of what they were trying to do, and now it seems like you're not trying to be a part of it no more.
Again, I have a certain inside scoop, and the most I'll say is that you might be onto something there, Guts.
Bro, I know, because I realize why certain people hit me up and say, yeah, you shouldn't be saying certain things on the pod. And I'm like, why, fam? Like,
because you're hitting the nail on the head
Yes.
as usual. But it goes back to Dolo. Like these guys really fucked up by not clicking up. Like Bundog and them, I heard. I don't know if this should be out there, but like when they're OT, it doesn't matter what's happening in the city.
It's like jail,
This is
bro.
linking.
Yes,
It's like
yes.
American jail,
We're here.
especially, right?
Like, yeah.
Right?
This
The
is us.
Vatos Locos, the Marasalva Trucha, everybody else, they get together.
Yeah.
The blacks get together.
Yeah.
The Aryans get together.
Yeah.
Yes, that's how you got to treat this shit.
Yeah.
But again, they're not socially, some of these guys aren't socially conscious. They never grew up where we grew up. So they don't understand that. They don't get it. So
Yeah.
can you fault them? I don't know. But if you're around people,
That's been around that, they should know better.
right, and they alienated themselves too. This is the problem that I have with them. People that should know better, they don't know better. You go around somebody that actually did it. You don't weigh into the fact, okay, they might not have made it to the level that I have, because you got a different opportunity than everybody else. So you got to still, come on, who was making the most noise? Who did certain things? Yo, people know our resume, and when you get in the industry and you talk to the Debs, Waka Flocka's mom, and everybody, you know the history of Ghetto Concept. You know we make waves. You know we know Dap and them. You know that we've been there from the inception and shit, right? So how do you not reach out to them and try to find out? This is different than the American game, bro. These guys reach out to each other, regardless.
Yeah.
You'll get fucking Soulja Boy reaching out to 50 and these people. Yes, and 50 reaching back.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
You-
the difference between us.
You hear those stories a lot.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yo, you know what I'm saying?
But
Oh,
even
my
down
bad,
to-
50. Get him on the line
Because
right now.
it's
Like,
street. This
yeah.
is street mentality,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
These guys, a lot of these guys are not street, so they don't know. That's why we have a problem with them. Because you can't tell our story. Because hip hop is a street-orientated music. It's foundational for our voice. Y'all came after. Y'all live good. Pretty. Come on, if you grew up in Forest Hill, man, what do you need? You don't want for nothing.
add to this to make this grow. And I feel like that's where Toronto has missed out so much, because too many people are like, okay, I see that nigga rapping. Well, I want to rap too. Or
Yep.
I see that person doing pod. How many people told me I like it now because we have more podcasts, but more people are like, oh, I seen Gutsy podcasting, so I could become a podcaster. I was like, wrong idea. You should have came back and come help me. But at the same time, I feel like, okay, well, I've ushered in a new generation of people that wanted to become podcasters or content creators. But I just feel like at the same time, we just missed that communication part of certain people that may been able to help you guys or put in here.
Yeah.
They didn't want to, and now they're just stuck because they got ignorant, or they just
And
the
lack
ego.
of honesty. We were talking about this earlier, man. People don't know when to tell you, yo, you're shit, bro. Sit down.
This guy hates me for
I hate that. And honestly, because I don't like people shitting on people's dreams and stuff. I think
No,
people
but
can
bro,
develop and be
You're
better than.
You're saving somebody from a nightmare.
Thank you.
That's what you're doing when you get in between and say, yo, bro, no, that ain't it. Man, Cam used to talk about this all the time. You don't want to be 40 and 50 years old trying to chase the bag, trying to get on. So you got to realize early, man, you got to be conscious of yourself. You have to have a healthy ego. Nothing wrong with a little friendly competition and thinking that you're the best. Chris Brown told me, yo, I got to think I'm the best.
Yeah.
You have to in this sport. If you don't, then you're in the wrong field.
Fact.
But it has to be a healthy ego. Shout out to Chris, because that is the most personable, most gracious person that I've ever, outside of Snoop Dogg, that I've ever met. That was just cool, easy to deal with. Asking me my opinion on girls. Me? Nigga, look at you.
Look at you. Like,
Me? Come on, dog.
Oh, Chris
Yeah,
Brown
yeah.
is definitely not turning down chromas. At the conversation that we had, he's definitely not turning down. The conversation another day.
Put the glasses.
that's crazy. No, but I get it.
Is there anybody that you got starstruck from meeting? You met a lot of people,
Well,
right?
Listen, this is so funny because me and Quadro always laugh about this. Remember I gave you the term that we use, goofy start time?
Yeah.
A lot of people are on goofy start time. We were never on that. The only person that I ever met that I was like, oh shit, Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at the time he was starting his label, he had the Filthy Rich record label, I think, and he had the shirts. And so Quadro, being Quadro, he knew that I was a big boxing fan. So he comes upstairs because he had went downstairs. We were in Vegas. Goes downstairs. He said, "Yo, I'm gonna do whatever I do, yada, yada, yada. I said, okay, I'm going to lay up. Came upstairs. He comes upstairs with the one T-shirt. And I'm like, yo, bro, what are you dealing with, dog? How you come upstairs with just one T-shirt? And he started laughing at me. He goes, yo, this is yours, B. Right? So that's the only person I was like, oh, shit, Floyd. Because I grew up on boxing. My father loved boxing. And so the best times ever spent with my father was watching boxing. So, Floyd played an integral part in the soundtrack of my life.
Jeez.
Absolutely.
Is he the greatest boxer in your opinion?
The greatest? I mean, I grew up around watching Ali, too. Remember, my pops was like boxing aficionado, so Ali, George Fraser. I mean, Joe Fraser.
Joe Fraser.
Come on. Yes, for his time. And then again, he's definitely the best for the divisions that he was in. You know what I mean? I mean, the accolades speak for itself.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think you got to separate heavyweights from lightweights, from super middleweights and such.
Yes,
right?
for sure.
I think, and then, I got a little bias because, I mean, Lennox Lewis is, to me, the best. He is the best for heavyweight. Coming after Ali, of course, but I'm a Mike Tyson fan, bro. And so you can't argue with me about Mike Tyson. Did Lennox kick his ass? Yeah, I guess. But, I mean, I'm still a Tyson fan. So when you ask me if Floyd is the best, I'm going to say for a time period, yes. Absolutely. 50. The record speaks for itself. 50-0, man.
I think we have to start breaking down when we talk about the best, breaking down in the eras.
We have to do
Eras.
You have to do that
eras,
now,
yeah.
man. It's not fair because it's like, how can you compare certain things like selling CDs compared to streams? Like, you can't do that, right?
Thank you, because they compare LeBron to Kobe and all this.
Yeah, or to MJ, and
Jordan.
it's like,
you can't do that because dudes were a lot bigger and a lot tougher back then, and you weren't getting the same calls that you get now. It's like football too, right?
Yeah.
Now you kick from what, the 25? I think you get it on the 25.
Yeah, they switched it up just like recently.
Right?
Yeah.
So somebody's moving the goalposts, or somebody's enabling these younger guys to kind of get in and do certain things, because now it's not really so much about. It's really more about not even the game. It's more about filling those seats.
Yeah.
And so you're going to get certain calls that are going to keep those seats full, and then you can see a lot more scoring as opposed to anything else, right? So I think that transcends in every
industry.
The only reason why I'm always behind boxing, because you can't play boxing. Boxing is real.
Yeah.
Right?
You have to learn how to fucking box.
But you
have to learn how to box.
You have to learn how to box. Yes.
Yeah, there's one thing to this. Yeah, you can't play. There's one thing just putting up your. There's one thing to fight.
Yeah.
There's another thing to learn how to move and dodge and.
Yeah.
Instinct. I think boxing is just straight instinct and like determination, endurance,
Footwork, man.
and footwork. Yeah.
Footwork, like when.
You gotta learn how to dance, man.
Yeah. Bro, like. When I was inside, them guys were just boxing me up because they knew I was strong and stuff. But they're like, oh, this nigga don't know how to move. Oh, we're gonna fuck this. Yeah,
man.
They had to wait with me.
Inside they got hands, man.
Yeah.
You check your gun at the door, but you got hands too. Oh shit.
That's a problem.
Yeah, it's a problem.
How do you feel about the violence in the city these days, bro? Like, as like, I don't think or was it the same amount of violence coming up in your era than it is in our era?
We just don't have bloggers and fucking
to,
everybody
to
posting
report all
about
this
it.
Shit. Like, how was the
Also,
difference?
too, how do you feel about that? Two-part question. Because, how do you feel, or how was the difference, and how do you feel about the violence? I guess three-part. But also, how do you feel about the bloggers talking about? I know you're not heavy on Instagram and shit like that, but I'm pretty sure you've seen like these bloggers will post like, this person's dissing this person in the song. And
now, let me premise by saying this first, because I just said that I don't like social media. I understand that it's integral to what we're doing right now.
Yeah, of course.
Especially for free promotion.
Yeah.
So you need it. I get it. And I think if I was gonna break an artist, you better have that page. You need, across the board, it should be social media savvy. But I'll say there's a gift and a curse to everything, and I think that led to a lot of this clout chasing that's going on, and people are trying to take heads for the clout. And not only doing that, but they're telling on themselves too. My day, we sold dope. Now they take it, and somebody just made that cool. Unbelievable. Not fucking with that. Violence. There's more of a focal point, but between me and Quadro, I think we've lost 70 friends.
Jeez, sorry to hear that.
Throughout the years. I mean, it's been a minute. 30-year time span. 35 years.
70 and 30 though, that's crazy, bro.
About 70 friends.
That is crazy.
That's a lot of people.
Because I'm not like, I'm soon touch 40 and I don't think I've lost 70 friends.
Yeah.
I lost a lot.
70 people that we know.
That's crazy.
That's money.
Is it due to gun violence? I assume
Vast majority of them, yeah.
Fuck.
Say a good maybe 20% was things that's unforeseen, illness and stuff. But for the most part, a good 50 friends, man, gonzo.
So it's just like, so it really doesn't even matter with the era. Then it really is just that social media is making that it's
The
making
premise,
it
like,
so
it's
like
making it
out
the
there,
the focus.
Because
Yeah, it's
if
the
there
focus.
wasn't that, we would have to catch it on the news or hear it on a call, like hear a phone call.
I think a lot of the acts now are more brazen.
Okay.
That's a part of it. And young people are ready to shoot earlier. But I mean, when we were going to concert hall, and I think the rules of engagement are a little bit different, but it's not conventional warfare like how it was for us. The conventional warfare is different. For us, in our day, it was more knives, more fisticuffs. You got to walk away. You might get a little chop if you survived it. But people were dying in concert hall days. People were getting stabbed up. Now it's everything's the gun, man. And yeah, you get people stabbed up too, but everything is just bang, 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 pew, pew, pew.
Just like you said, brazen shootings too.
Brazen
Like
shooting,
that.
man. And my day, I'll say that was more about, you did something to me, I'm gonna defend that. Nowadays, it's like mistaken identity, or because you stepped on my shoes and sorry can't buy back my Jordans, I'm gonna take your head off. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing a lot more of. And then there's because again, I go back to this question, is that hip hop is a street oriented music. Hip hop was created so that we could get away from the violence. So all these labels and everybody involved who have made all this money off of hip hop, where are you? Why are you not getting more involved with the community that you're exploiting?
Because they're not exploiting hip hop. Well, yes, they're exploiting a part of hip hop, but this is rap. I think that's the problem that I'm not saying you, but we intertwine them because they are the same.
I get it.
But I feel like
what you're
the hip hop is more than just music.
But hear what I'm saying. Hip hop is the taster of everything.
Yeah.
Everything is the foundation. Before Justin Trudeau ran for office, he asked me, "Do you think I should run?" I'm like, "Well, I mean, name recognition alone. You're a Trudeau.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you run?
Yeah.
Right? But ultimately, it comes down to what are you gonna do? That's what you gotta question yourself. I said these things to him.
So what? Trudeau was pulling up to the jungle?
Bro, see, this is what I'm trying to tell you about.
Trudeau was trying to get his weed in jungle and shit. Like, yeah, I'm saying.
He was smoking like, yo. So really,
So Dolo.
should I really run? You know what I'm saying?
He smoked Century Sams them times too. He was smoking Century Sams.
With the honey. With the honey.
Y'all are hilarious. No, okay, so listen, you have to remember this about hip hop at that time and Ghetto Concept, and this just goes more to what I'm speaking about. Who was holding it down for 10 years plus? Before Monsieur Trudeau ran for office, he was a teacher in Montreal, and so his favorite group was Ghetto Concept.
Wow.
And so he brought us out to his school to give, the meet and greet and give a little lesson to the kids and tell them what it took for you to get to where you're at. And, I'll never forget, he said that these are the future prime ministers of Canada. And I'm thinking to myself, the future prime minister is the guy who's teaching the class. Like, what are you on? Right? Well, honestly. And then years later, I meet him. I see him at the Junos.
Yeah.
We sit down and said, okay, you know what? Let's do lunch. So, we go have lunch. And then he asks
Is that a
me,
timestamp? Is that a time?
No.
No, he's an advocate.
Yeah,
so that's fine. That's
yeah,
fine.
Yeah,
Time
I'm not an advocate. I don't smoke. I don't
Okay,
smoke,
okay,
right?
okay.
But I'm giving it to you real.
Yeah, for
right?
sure,
I
for
mean,
sure.
that was the past. I got to tell you what led me to the future.
Yeah.
So so then we talked about it, and I said honestly, not really knowing his politics, I just said what made sense. It's just like name recognition alone. You know what I mean? Because we had another conversation about the diversity of music and the market share in Canada as it speaks to music. And if you follow, then you know that he did give a lot to music. He said a lot of initiatives that gave grants for music.
Music,
Yeah.
yes,
Country.
yes.
Yes, he did.
That
Yes,
was
he
based
did.
off of our conversations. That's what I'm telling you. Like the way people play down Ghetto Concept, like we ain't shit and we ain't never did nothing for the culture. It's crazy. It's crazy, right? So yeah, I digress, man. I digress.
Fuck, man.
Shout out Trudeau, man.
Shout out Ghetto fucking Con. Shout out Dolo.
Shout out
Respect.
Dolo for
Fuck,
real.
bro. Like he's a real innovator. Like he's the ghost in the machine for real. You gotta put a ghost in the machine moving shit.
Respect, bro.
Dolo seems like that guy that's just manipulating things behind the scenes. Like, yo, nigga, do this like this. Nah, not like that. Like, and then all of a sudden,
Magneto, we getting it on, man.
oh, so you're Professor X.
Nah, I'm Magneto.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna.
I definitely mad.
Before we get out of here, do you have any more questions for Dolo?
I'm so happy. No,
Me too.
I'm so.
I'm
full.
glad that we're gonna definitely have you back. But before we get out of here, if you could change one thing about the city, music wise, if you could change one thing, what would be the one thing that you could change or
Oh, man.
that you could implement?
Yeah,
Implement?
yeah.
Yeah.
More street-orientated people with the background in the levels that can take you to the next place that you need to go as an artist. There's not enough of them. You have a lot of people in positions that don't know fuck all about hip-hop. You never lived it. You're here for cool points and getting $1 and a check instead of forwarding the movement and breaking Toronto. It's like they want to see us stand still. I don't know if they're in on the agenda. Maybe you have a point, man. Maybe they're in on it too.
I'm telling you.
Because if somebody could go to my man's wife and say that, yo, I got somebody that's gonna take your man's group out, something's going on. Something's going on. So, but if we could have more people from the street in that level, it far move the system, the whole system forward, man. You got too much people at radio and too much people just collecting a check and not really knowing about. They're reaching to the States for hip hop and underground music, and what plays top 40 there. You have so much talented artists here, and I'm not saying it because I'm from here. I know talent. When I seen Bun Dog with that mask on in Paris and the chain, I said, yo, kids are gonna see him and say, yo, I wanna be like this dude.
Facts.
Because he's street conscious. He knows that he has another face out there that he doesn't want wrapped up in no bullshit.
Is
You
that
understand?
the reason for the mask though? Like you honestly believe
I
that?
think he's just being smart. What do you think he's doing it for?
You-
In
We,
this
I think at
nobody
first,
ever
I think-
seen Bun Dog. That's the thing.
I
We
have.
always heard about him,
Well, not
but
on
you never
in-
seen it.
Yeah, That's
people
because I've
know.
interviewed him.
If you know, you know. But like, I think for the public, like for a fan on my end, like I heard his name before, but coming out knowing that he's Press's brother, you know what I'm saying, you can see that he's just not just who he is. Like he's bigger than what he is. Not and
But that's why I
exact
feel like he
level.
does. But that's why I feel like he doesn't need the mask. Like certain people, artists, I feel like they need the mask, or they don't need the mask, but they shouldn't have the mask because they don't have a personality per se, right? So now Bundog has that already. So he doesn't. I feel like the mask it won't help or hurt him per se because I feel like when you go for Bundog, you go for that free game, you go for that sauce, them gems.
That's right, bro.
Like, you know, I think he's built the brand where it's just like, okay, I wear a mask, but you're not coming here for my face per se.
Sorry to interject, but you know who tried to build that brand and everybody told me, no, you can't do that? Dolo.
Really?
Ooh.
Dolo. Down low. Dolo. If you notice the pictures back then, there was only one time they caught me, and that's when we were at BMG. And they put my picture as the focal point and Quadra with his head down. And I'm like, what are you doing? That's my steez. I didn't want my face to be in public like that because I wanted to be able to be in the grocery store with my children and shop.
Yeah,
And not
yeah,
have a
yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
I wanted to be able to walk up and down the block and not nobody, yo, bro, so what are you gonna do for us? And and how come you're not putting me on? So I applaud him because that's me 20, 30 years ago trying to do what I wanted to do and they wouldn't let me. Now he doing it because he's like, fuck y'all, you gonna love it regardless. That's why I respect the dude.
So you want more people like us in exact levels.
Yes, I need y'all.
But like,
I don't need these fucking paper mache niggas out here. I don't fuck with them. They're not for the culture, bro. They're here for a check. Fuck them niggas.
but like, let us know, in your opinion, how can people like us get into those exact levels? Because
Create
I'm
your own
sure it's
industry, man.
hard.
Create your own industry. Put your egos, set your egos aside, and get with the people that are making moves and form your own collective. Form your own collective.
Pretty much what we're doing, just with more money. That's it. Yeah, I'm saying like we've kind of paved our own way. We're the truth tellers. I want to say it's us and Rock Boy Ninja are the only people out here in the city that's really telling the truth.
Yeah.
The rest of these guys are
Right.
gonna dick ride and
That's it. That's where it starts. Telling the truth.
yeah.
Telling the truth. They're gonna like you. They're gonna hate you. Now, as you progress and you grow, you understand that there are certain relationships you want to keep and you want to respect.
Facts.
And so you're gonna show that respect. But ultimately, it's about telling the truth. And if the people that you love you, they'll understand when you're telling the truth. Now, one of my teachers in the truth now that I'm talking to being an Israelite, he tells me all the time that always tell the truth. One thing that people cannot fault you for is telling the truth. They might not like it. They might be like, yo, that was a little bit too brash, but they can't say that you're a motherfucking liar.
Liar, exactly.
And that's very important because your lying begins, that's where your integrity begins, right? I always say that humility, the first sign of humility, or the first sign of the humility is intelligence. That's the first. In order for you to be intelligent, you got to be humble. You got to respect the man no matter what he's wearing, what he's doing at that time. Again, it goes back to what I learned from Snoop, but what I knew before that, right? Being obedient to the Most High, understanding that you have your place in the world, and it's not all about it's definitely not about taking the focus from him and putting it on yourself, which is another reason why I always try to play myself down, because I was just like, I'm here for the money and to make a situation better for my family and move the culture forward. I'm not here to be famous. I don't want to be famous. And that's why I always say that when the business got involved, shit got fucked. But then I realized it's not so much the business, it's the people who are
behind the business.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, they ruined it.
Yeah, they ruined it.
I'm like, but I'm telling you, how many times like Dolo, I was just like, yo, Vegas, just take this over, fam. I don't want to do this shit no more, fam. It's just like, fam, I can't, because it's like when you're so real to shit, and it's like people are just begging you to be fake just so you can get some likes or views or get put into a position where it's like, my nigga, I don't give a fuck. I tell it all the time. I don't care to interview any of you niggas. Like, you top tier niggas, I don't care, because if I have to interview you guys and I have to like not be real or change up the interview to bless your fucking shit, I don't want to interview you.
I don't want to have you here, yeah.
And in the same token, you always want to be respectful to the artist, because it takes a lot to create hip hop music, especially in Canada, where we have limited resources. We have limited personnel as far as the people who are going to back you. So you always got to give them top tier treatment, but you have to be truthful to yourself.
Yeah.
That's what we want to hear, and your audience wants to hear the truth.
Facts.
Right? And there's certain things, again, certain things you just learn to play the game. That's it. You know what I mean? Just like a DJ. DJs will play top 40, but when you're coming from a certain place, like if you're a DJ and you're coming out of the Rex, you understand the assignment. I got to play home team shit and crack the city, bro. I got to crack for my people. You do. And that's the way you got to play this game, man.
Oh, you see, conversation. He opened up a can of worms for another day, though, because we were gonna be here forever. Because these DJs don't even want to play Toronto music for whatever reason. Shout out Judo, you know what I'm saying? Shout out that guy, Celebrity Drew.
Yeah, they did it in my time too. They never wanted to play shit. I heard a radio programmer, and I know we're getting ready to get out of here, but I gotta say this. I know a radio programmer came and said, because we asked, like, yo, why are you not paying concept stuff? And they're like, oh, well, I mean, your song's not, pop. It's not popular. It's not hit radio. I go, realize that you opened your radio station on our song? So how are we not pop? How are we not popular music? Popular music is how you play it and you break it. Then it becomes popular.
A
lot of DJs don't understand the assignment, bro. They don't. Or maybe they're getting laced from somewhere else.
No, it's just Toronto DJs can't break records.
They're just.
I've cut them. Yo, Dolo, I've been cut them out. I don't care if it's to better this city. I will tell my truth.
Thank you.
From it's a DJ, producer, rapper, actor, I don't give a fuck.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you guys, and it works because I tell you guys and I see the switch. So I know that we ain't capping out here. So it is what it is. Really quick before we leave, I want to shout out our sponsors.
Before the sponsors, I have one more question. One more question. So we always talk about like, and I know you had mentioned some of the artists that you guys try to put on. Like, we always say like, we feel like the OGs, like the older artists, never really put on for the artists under them. Like, who are some artists, to clear your name with this little thing that we have in our brain?
Or that come up under you?
Who are the artists that came up under Ghetto Concept's wing to be like, okay, yeah, we gave the culture these people?
Infinite.
Yeah.
Gave him a laneway. Ray Smooth gave him a lane. Angel Dust gave her a lane. I think there was a couple people we gave a lane. They ended up, doing what they had to do.
Remo? Would you consider Remo?
Yeah, definitely. They got sidetracked along the way. But more important, the things that I hold dear are people that directly grew up in the struggle and grew up the way I did. She's one of them. She did grow up in the struggle. She definitely did. Just a different story from most entirely, which is why I always try to champion her whenever I got around her. But look at the second album. We even tried to raise people that were at a certain level, that were getting the industry nod instead of the industry nod. Like, look at the last album. We could have did Ghetto Concept presents Ghetto Concept. We did Ghetto Concept presents 7 Bill All-Stars.
Yes.
7 Bill All-Stars, not just us, but the collective, everybody coming from the city who we thought was dope. We had radio personalities on that shit rapping. that you don't know them for rapping. Yes, we tried to open and flood because we realized a long time ago that we have a social responsibility to the people that we came up with and to our projects, first and foremost, but to everybody else, right? We need each other in order to build the brand, man. It's just not about us.
Okay. Now I'm done.
But really quick, shout out our sponsors: Grab a Queen, Golden Grams, Coily Love for your hair products, L Plug. Who else do we got out here? Life of Wisdom, just in general.
Life
'cause
of Wisdom.
Man Dem merch. Make sure you go tap in.
Radio
Get your Man
Forward.
Dem. Radio Forward
for the space as
again.
usual.
Hold
Dolo.
on, I got a plug.
Yeah.
Bro, these are coming out very soon. Get your Ghetto Concept merchandise. Y'all gonna see it.
He is not leaving here with that hat.
No, I got
We're gonna scrap for that one because this hat is clean and it fits. Yo, I have some hoodies that fits this color.
Yeah, okay, for sure.
I'm saying, but
So,
yeah. And where can people be looking out for that?
Stay tuned on that. Right now I'm working with Brems from he's in the Kensington
Okay.
market. So shout out to my man D. Yo man, much love, much success to you, brother. Always an open door when I go over there. So y'all check out Brems right now. They got some exclusive pieces that are just off the hammer, bro. And House of 7, of course. House of 7 gear. Quadro and Big R and everybody over there are champion with Angel as well, I believe. So look out for House of 7 gear. That's coming out. Look out for the doc coming out, Ghetto Concept. Coming very soon. We working on it now.
Okay, a new album?
No.
Oh, just a
It's a
new.
movie series.
Oh, the doc. Oh, the
documentary.
doc.
But
Oh.
you know when you work on a doc, you know what got to come with it, right?
The soundtrack. Yeah, of course.
Oh man.
Right, so we got some things in motion. I think we got a relationship. Matter of fact, I know we got a relationship with Sony still, and so there's some things that got to get taken care of. So there's some requirements that we got to fill. So it only makes sense that we start doing the doc and start getting some stuff out there and kind of fill that requirement, and so we can walk away from this thing and said that we truly did what we were supposed to do before we move on to greener pastures for us, man.
Fuck, I can't wait to see that shit.
Hold on, and let me say this. I know a lot of shit that I said today. Y'all are gonna be mad. Big mad. Mad. Fuck you. Fuck you.
I'm glad. Yo, that's perfect clip down. You did it perfect for us because you're going to clip that. And a lot of things I said. Oh, my God.
But I will say this, that Quadro is his own man and his own voice when it comes to this thing, so y'all need to have him on to give his perspective. That's what makes Ghetto Concept great because of us, too. And the way we think. The way we operate and do things is different, but we think the same way. We just have a different way of getting it across.
That's dope.
All right?
Dolo, thank you so much for coming through the Man
Thank
Dem
you for
show.
having me, and I appreciate y'all, man. I love what y'all are doing, man.
Thank you, bro.
man. We're
Thank
just
you.
trying
man.
to shake the fucking industry.
Shake
You know what
it
I'm
up,
saying?
man.
Disturb
Yeah,
it.
it needed it, so we decided to shake it, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, guys, this has been one of my favorite episodes, best episode, one of the most informative episodes too.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys go. Well, you'll see all the Ghetto Concept stuff. Show Ghetto Concept some flowers while they are here. You know what I'm saying?
please.
And to you idiot tastemakers, go suck you lick body boy. We off for this.
Okay. Did we shake them up a little bit?
We sure. Oh, they're gonna get shaked up with this.
Yeah, man, they're going to hate me after this one, but I